understandable and like being concerned about what's going to happen next. Also, I totally forgot to click some buttons, so I gotta click some buttons real quick. Ooh. There we go. There we go. Oh, thank you for the Queen's Care package, zombie. Okay, I clicked my buttons. Let me hydrate. Yeah, like he was still the Pope. He had to hold the values of the Catholic Church, or else he wouldn't have been the Pope. But like in that seat, he was very like powerful in what he was able to like do and say up there. So Mim says, like, Mim specifically states here that like they are not saying like you should feel a different type of way. You have very valid reason to see him the way that you do, but also just try to understand why other people may be upset that he is gone. Gray responds back, I want the system dismantled. I don't care for popes. I'd rather not hear about his mourning because he and the Vatican pissed me off. It's also not very good to say he supported Gaza when he was so back and forth on it for a while, and to actively say he's for Palestine and against genocide when the very chair he sat in was responsible for genocide around the world and still is, especially for my own people. At this point, Mim just responds, all right, because there's no kind of rationaling with this. Gray is very set in the way that they feel and like what they're saying, and like they're not backing off either. He probably couldn't have said everything he truly believed because he was the Pope. Yeah, exactly. And the fact that he said negative things about the Trump's admin speaks 1,000 words. Exactly. So Mim just says, all right. Gray then continues on saying generational trauma cannot be fixed by the little tour he had. It can't be fixed by it can't fix the fact that my family is so broken thanks to the church. It can't fix what happened to my grandma, nor the millions of indigenous people the church also harmed. And the things he said and did were just not right. Still, he genuinely upsets me. I can't change the fact I'm traumatized and indigenous. Please understand that. Which, like, this message was just unnecessary. I'll like, so honestly, Mim is no longer trying to, like, engage in this conversation with, like, the short, just all right. Gray is just continuing this conversation specifically after Mim has already, like, said they're not asking Gray to change his views on this. They say straight up, you have a very valid reason to see him the way that you do. That's like not being able to talk crap about coworkers because you have the professor hire. Yeah. Like it's like Gray is being so combative here, just like so aggressive and combative when like it was so uncalled for. Bia, hello, what's going on? God, so much. We've got racist accusations from Gray in these screenshots towards Mim, and so this is Mim showing the full conversation to denounce the racist accusations that Gray has put against them. So Mim responds after Gray says, like, please understand that this can't be fixed. Mim says, I have said, I understood, I still do, and I said I wasn't trying to change your perspective or view. What I asked is that you understand why some of us here are upset with his passing and the fear of the next pope. It hurts and upsets me to see that you won't offer that to us as well. And they do put another tone tag / because again, Gray is extremely combative and only taking things aggressively. He's only taking all of this information as an attack on him and his culture and his identity. So Gray responds back, everyone can mourn a pope. Nobody but me and my people is mourning the children, men and women who died by the hands of the church. One man is nothing compared to generations of indigenous people. Indigenous people are always devalued compared to white people, so I'm especially upset. The world is mourning a single man, and nobody seems to care about the damage done, nor the millions of people dead thanks to the Vatican. The assault, the genocide, displacement, everything. Mourning him feels like a joke to me, but I'm not laughing. I'm crying. I don't want to be that guy. But Gray needs to talk to about this stuff with a therapist and not their friend. No, wholeheartedly. Like, this is such a chronically on. Yes, it is. And like, I was going to get to that is like, this is a very chronically online like situation. I'll be so honest. Gray needs a therapist wholeheartedly, 100%. And like the way that he is just not understanding that like quite literally nobody is trying to fight him on this and everybody is in agreement with like what he's saying, but like people can also still mourn this man. That's all it is. Chat, if y'all ever cancel me, please give me the respect of doing better than the babe. God damn it. Anyways, Mim continues. They respond with, "I'm not trying to take that away, but it isn't fair to Mortimer and I who hold that fear either of what happens next or anyone else who do. Understanding should go both ways, and I understand me asking that is not plausible, so I will drop it from here." So again, this is the second time, honestly, I'll cancel you so hard. God damn it, Dougie. Oh my gosh. Also don't want to be that guy, but I can see the MPD claim. Yeah. 100%. So this at this point, this is the second time that I feel like Nim has tried to stop this conversation. I think the short all right up here was kind of the first attempt at like hoping this would just be dropped. And so they say here that like they understand that like it's not possible for Gray to give them the same understanding that they are giving Gray. So they just say, "I'll drop it." Gray then responds, do indigenous people matter here at all?" Mim is way better than me. I would have just kept responding okay for every message until they start. A lot of people are way better than me. I will be so honest. Mim being one of them, are way better than me in this, because like after the first message, like after this first set of messages, I could tell immediately what was going on. Wholeheartedly just change the topic. And like I feel like Gray is quite literally just looking to like trauma dump and like vent right now, because it's not there's no engagement here. That's crazy. Can we play TF2 today? Yeah, exactly. There's no, Nim's like not really engaging back into the conversation. It is just Gray venting, like full stop. So Gray responds, "Do indigenous people matter here at all?" Which Mim responds, "For reference, I also come from people and ethnicities that were targeted by the Catholic Church. Also, I'm not saying that Tony, I said many times that it's something I understand, and it's also something I cannot speak on as I'm not. I also said many times that I'm not trying to change your perspective, and I understand that hurt. The only thing I ask for is to allow us to mourn as well from our experiences, because it isn't about just the passing of him, but the fear for who sits in that seat next." Which, Gray's just jumping to conclusions. I would kind of get if they were like, there's like nothing. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no engagement in this conversation the way that I think Gray wants the engagement to like be had. Like, Gray is looking to actively like be combative in fighting the allegations, or not the allegations, but just like what's being said for the Pope. Like they're taking the messages as if Mim and other people are just praising the Pope and saying that this was God himself that just passed, who did no wrong, and that we don't know if we'll have such a great man like we just said. Well, like that's not what they're saying. They're just saying that like while the Catholic Church, yes, has done bad things, this Pope was able to start to like break some of the bad things that like have been built up in that like community. And it's scary to like think that we won't have another chance like that to like make more progress. And Gray's just completely disregarding all of that wholeheartedly. He kind of has main character syndrome. Yes, he does have main character syndrome. 90% of the passing posts is like, "Damn, God took him on Easter. That's crazy. Hope he played Undertale." It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous the way that Gray is responding here. Like, and like it was said earlier, you can see the like the NPD kind of within these messages. But I'll continue on. Probably get through this message or this paragraph. An ad break is about to start in about a minute 30. So I will pause reading through and going through this during the ads so nobody misses out on anything, and then continue it back up whenever the ads finish. But Grace responds back saying, "Also, I understand the fear, though my fear always existed because of the endless damage from the church. I'm always going to fear what comes of the Vatican and any leaders behind it. My anger and sadness comes from my people's being harmed before we're still harmed. I have deep-rooted religious trauma and still experience that trauma in the present. The generational trauma and ongoing trauma doesn't end for me, not from Christianity and Catholicism, not from the governing bodies of the Vatican, from none of it. The very tour he took in Canada did so much damage, and people who aren't Indigenous don't seem to grasp just how bad it was and how poorly it was handled. Indigenous people don't matter to the other people. I don't understand why, and it deeply upsets me. Having blank doesn't help because I know what my ancestors went through for years. Me nor my people matter to society. I thought I would matter here more. I can't change anybody's view. That's not my intention. Just a lack of proper understanding cuts deep," which, like, I don't... Hot take, sometimes your trauma is your problem. Stop putting that on other people. No, quite literally, like, wants to validate his oppression by being oppressed by his friend group. That's what it feels like. And, like, right here, like, they even say, like, they have all of this trauma. Like, you need to go to a therapist. You need to go and talk to a therapist. You venting and ranting to these other people, these just random people, quite literally, in this group chat is, like, not it. Especially because, like, you are feeling attacked and oppressed in this group. Like, I don't understand, like, the thought process, like, behind this. Not gonna lie, these people are better than me. Again, like, Nim trying to even, like, have this conversation, incredible. Oh, well, bet your channel points. Great time, because the ad break is happening right now. Welcome in, Panda. How's it going? No, Gray is just extremely, extremely combative. I would have made a new group chat without them at this point. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Good God. Who already put 8.5K into tail? The 5 points into head is crazy. It'd be crazy if that's all that it got and heads won. What a come up that would be. Shovel and me. You're right. It is always you, Shovels. It's always you. I should have known that. I should have known. No, again, Mim is really trying here, which I genuinely think it's a lost cause. I think they kind of know it's a lost cause too, but they're still giving it a go. I wouldn't have bothered. I'm telling you, after this first set of messages right here, I mean, fucking ad jail, let me out. I want to hear the combo. Oh, shovels on the slots. Shovels on the slots. Oh, you won! Oh my god! Nice. Oh, you won too. Oh, damn. Did you only have one? Shovels, that's rough. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty fucking rough. Oh, man. But yeah, no. Gray just wants, like, a fight. That's like the only thing I get here is, like, Gray wants a fight, which I don't know why you would want that. I don't know why you'd want to, like, have that argument. No, I had 2256, but now I'm at 2250. Oh, I thought betting all would, like, you know, like, double your money or something. I didn't know it would give you 2. Oh, kind of crash out. Listen, I hate being misconstrued, especially in a conversation like this. So you're telling me, yay, J-Bay didn't fry this rice? What? What do you mean? Primals, what does this even mean? Also, welcome in. Oh, yeah. I would not be a part of this conversation. There's no way. There's no way. Oh, I'll wait until the ads break to flip the coin, too. What were the bets at? 1.1K to 8.5K. Okay. It's either Shovel wins it all or Shovel loses it all. That's the only. I don't feel like pulling out the desk cam for this, but I did flip the coin. It's tails. Oh, Shovels! I can't believe this. I thought it was gonna be heads. I really did. I thought it was gonna be heads. And you were about to lose so much money. You'll get 9,590 channel points. Gosh, it's just a Shovels type of day. You get first. You win the Gamba. You won 2 from your slots. Shovels, go buy a lottery ticket. If you win, cut me off a piece, please. But welcome back from the ads, everybody. We will continue on with this. So, Gray saying, and that's the thing, Gray saying, like, the lack of proper understanding cuts deep, which, like, nobody's not understanding this. If you win, just know I want my PC. Nobody's, like, saying that, like, they're not understanding what's going on. Mim has quite literally, like, 2 or 3 times now said that, like, they understand what Gray is saying. Like, they understand his words, and, like, they're not trying to invalidate his feelings and validate the trauma that, like, he's gone through or anything like that. Just also understand that there are other viewpoints than your own. Gray is just absolutely refuting that. Because she flipped when I was on ad and I pushed for Gamba. I flipped it after the ads. I flipped it when the ad break ended. But anyways, Greg continues saying, I'm not resilient. I can't be. It's really conflicting for me as someone raised Catholic, someone who did mortuary study and work, someone who is indigenous. My identity goes above all else. And that's why I'm so deeply hurt by everything going on. Like I said before, I'm indigenous. Being indigenous inherently comes with trauma for where I'm from /at. I feel like we could do a fucking drinking game of taking a shot anytime Gray brings up indigenous people. Because, like, everybody is well aware the amount of times, like, they have mentioned it at this point. We understand that you are indigenous. Nobody is even insinuating that you are not indigenous. But, like, he just keeps saying it. Yeah, like, he's at the point where he's hammering it in too hard. Like, it's I don't know, like, I don't feel the need to, like, hammer in that, like, I'm black. Like, I'm not coming on here every stream being like, hello, y'all, I am YayJBay, a black VTuber who streams every day, being black and a part of the black community. And I want y'all to know that I am black. Like, it sounds insensitive, but, like, yeah, we get it. Like, you're indigenous. Like, no, and that's the other thing is, like, nobody is even refuting or, like, saying indigenous people, like, don't matter. They're not saying these things didn't happen. The only person talking here with them is Mim, and Mim is saying you have every valid reason to, like, feel this way. I think they're upset because they thought they were gonna get an easy clout farm. List your minorities tag, attack a religious group, give free internet points. Not getting that is absolutely throwing them, and they don't have another attack plan. See, I'm not gonna lie, maybe you might not be wrong there, babe. Wait, you're black? I thought you were blue. I'm sorry, I haven't drilled it in enough that I'm a black VTuber. I'm black. You know, where's the? I didn't even pull this out for the. I didn't even pull this out for the fucking. For the whatchamacallit, but I'm black, in case y'all didn't know. I am black. This is like literally, like, if I came on to stream every day and, like, was just like, just to let y'all know, like, I'm black. You can see it here. I'm black. Wait, you're black? Hello all, I am Primal, YayJBay's little bro. I am black. Okay, bye. Yeah, like, if I came, you know, we have the desk cam open, so I might as well do a little ring flex. But, like, that's how much, like, he's trying to hammer in, like, he's indigenous. Not gonna lie, I'm black, but it's kind of like, I'm black, guys. Like, I just remember again, I'm black. Like, I at this point, I don't know why it's being, like, brought up so much. A part of my family is light skinned. Oh, yeah, I mean, you're still black regardless. I know, like, colorism is a big issue in the black community, so I understand why you said it was complicated. But anyways, I digress. Going back into this, Mim responded, I know, but I'm white light skinned. That's fair. I'm a little white non-binary who glows in the dark. My cousin is about as light as it gets. Full black, never sell yourself short. Thank you, babe. There you go. But Mim responds back after Gray sends, because like Gray sends this first message, and then same though. I'm black, but people think I'm Mexican or Puerto Rican. I'm pale as fuck, but I tan. See, but like, imagine saying that in like all of your messages. Like, you put whatever message that you're sending, and then like you include that like, I'm black, by the way, or like, I'm a little white non-binary who glows in the dark, by the way. Like, that's what's happening here. And like, I'm realizing here, because like Gray sends this first paragraph at like 4:28, and then sends a second one almost 10 minutes later. Sorry, I realized I couldn't see the message. So like, sends this at 4:28, sends the second one at 4:36. So did not get a response here, like waited, and then like came back to say more. Like, he is actively trying to push forward the fight. Also, hi, Risky. I love tamales. I'm black French, by the way. Exactly. I reinforce I'm non-binary at work because I'm AFAB, so you can imagine how that goes. And that's fine if you're like reminding people, because like that's through like a day-to-day thing. And then if somebody like says like accidentally misgenders you or something, you remind them like, hey, by the way, I'm non-binary. But like in this conversation, nobody's saying like, nobody's confused that Gray is indigenous. But every message, like every other message includes the fact that like he is indigenous. And like, that's what I'm getting at. And again, I think he just wants to fight because he waited like 10 minutes to send another message, to which Mim responds back and says, it's not just misgendering. I don't care about that. It's when men say things that I'm like, no. Oh, okay. Understandable. Mim responds back here. They say, the thing is, it's not that I don't understand. I do. Both sides of my family have generations of experience with the Catholic Church, which is why I don't participate in organized religion any longer. Hell, my brother got denied a priest because he offed himself. It very much still actively happens, even in small ways. I resent the church as I do religion as a whole. I'm not making excuses. I'm not denying your grief or resentment. I'm not trying to change anyone's mind. All I asked for was one thing: to also allow us to grieve. Maybe it seems more simple. Maybe it seems like it's not as important, but our feelings are also valid. And that is the only thing I asked. And they put another tone tag /Jin. I'm very familiar with the Catholic Church and what it has done to numerous groups of people. And I'm not trying to say that they didn't. I wasn't asking for anything of them. I was asking for understanding for your friends as well. Every message I have sent, I have iterated that I have understood because I do. And it was never the point to trample on your perspective. I had only asked you to understand why we may also grieve this event. There are a lot of paragraphs. Oh, primals, we are on page 6 of 32. Buckle it up, buddy. We got a lot to cover. So great response here. 6 of what? 32. And then we have more things. We have more things even after this. Fuck you mean 32. Oh my gosh, hi Young, welcome in. Yes, no, we have a lot of screenshots and then more threads to go over after we get through all these screenshots. But no, we are on page 6 of 32. I'm just lost after popping in a moment. Oh my gosh. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the NPD. The NPD is starting to get very obvious here. So after Mim responds with this, Gray comes back to say, I distrust those grieving that man. I want that very clear. So I'm scared here. All night and morning, I've been so conflicted. Mim responds, even if what I grieve is who will be seated in the future ? Gray says, I don't trust the Vatican. Mim says, do you think we do? But for America right now, we need everything possible to grasp against what is happening. Gray responds, I don't know what to believe. Given how I'm treated here, I said my racial background is very serious to me. Mim said, I literally do not trust organized religions. Why would I trust the Vatican? Gray responds, why mourn the Pope then? I can't understand. which Mim responds back, because I fear who will take the seat next. I said that many times. I fear getting someone who will do even more extensive damage. Grace says mourning implies care. That's why I'm so pressed. I do not care for the Pope or anybody associated with the Vatican. Mim responds, mourning implies grief, grief of what will be. Our next lineup of popes are all incredibly conservative. We are allowed to fear that outcome. Grace says popes are inherently conservative. Mim responds, especially because what they do heavily impacts the world. If I could have a world where religious figure isn't that vital, I would. The fact I'm polytheistic says enough with what I believe regarding the church. I do not trust organized religions due to my history and my personal experiences. So to assume I do, my own brother was denied his rights even in death by them. Why would I trust them? Like, I don't understand how Gray is not like comprehending the words that Mim is saying. I keep on calling them Nim. That Mim is saying here. I would physically sign out of Discord. Mim, how do you do this? I don't feel safe here. Gets kicked. They're racist. Confusion. Dip. Hello, Dip. How's it going? How are you? Oh my fucking God. This guy pisses me off. No, that's the thing. He's not listening at all. Like and I feel like it's like purposeful that he is not taking like any of the information that Mim is like putting in there, like not consuming it at all. Why mourn the next Pope? Or why mourn the Pope next? Bro, are we not allowed to mourn someone's death even if we do not agree with the group? That, yes, like, it's giving very chronically online. I'll be so honest, it's giving extremely chronically online. This man doesn't understand no, not even a little bit. We need to have a talk about how nuance is fucking dead. Like, no one in this generation understands it. Yeah, you are not wrong at all. Bro, do you have antisocial personality disorder? Do you lack empathy entirely? I'm telling y'all, it's the chronically online. It is the chronically online. And that's where I feel like you also lose the understanding of nuance, is being chronically online. I swear Discord changes people. It changes their brain chemistry. It's gotta. I can't even say Discord only. It's just like being online as a whole and just only interacting with other people online. It rewires you so incorrectly. Gray comes back yet again saying, I'm not the one grieving someone terrible. That's my issue here. My issue lies in the grief of someone terrible, then labeling it as concern for the next person. I studied grief and the stuff behind it in depth. That implies care more than anything. That's my issue, and my issue lies in my own identity, the very core of my being and beliefs. Do not turn it around when I'm not the one grieving the Pope. And then a new person comes in here, only interacting with people online and asking Grok, is this thread yes. Oh my God. I block, like, I'm chronically online, but this, no. Cause like I will jokingly, like, I'd say like half jokingly say that I'm chronically online. Like I'm a homebody. I like, even whenever I was working, I worked remotely. So I only stayed home. Like I don't really go out much. The only times I do go out is like for anime conventions or furry conventions or whatever. So I am online like all the time, but like, I also understand how to interact with people and like the nuance of things, and it's just completely lost on somebody like Gray. Crying that nobody cares about his identity and struggle, fails to acknowledge everybody else's. Quite literally. He only wants his ideas and perspectives to be the ones that are like, if somebody does not have and hold that same idea and perspective as him, they are instantly like just invalidating his ideals and perspectives and feelings, and that's quite literally not how that works. Social media is where nuance, literacy, and intelligence dies. Everyone acts like a lobotomite. Correct. I talk about niche internet drama with the girlies at work, but this genuinely hurts my head. listen, you're gonna have so much tea to tell them next time you go to work after we're done here. So this is where Nadine comes in. So somebody else like is now coming into the conversation, because this is a group chat. This is not DMs between Gray and Nim. This is a group chat with multiple people. So Nadine comes in and says, you two are going back and forth on the same issues. Mim responds, we aren't grieving a single man. I've said this many times. You aren't understanding me. With Nadine replying back saying, how long are you going to keep reiterating points before you see that? Mim says, grief is more than just caring about somebody as well. Nadine says, from what I see, you two understand perfectly well and have your own religious traumas from both your backgrounds, and nobody's grieving. Why has it gone so far that both of you are making such assumptions? Mim says, I don't know. I don't think what I'm saying has even been mattering. It genuinely feels like what I'm saying isn't important. Nadine's better than me. I would have came in like, yo, can y'all shut up? Look at Medic from TF2 with me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Nadine did not come in helping in this situation. Though, like, their response here, I feel like if you were going to come in and like interject in like this conversation that's happening, I feel like the best move would be to stop the conversation like from happening, because it's not going anywhere. And Gray is like not accepting of anything other than what he is saying. Mim is stronger than me. I would have crashed out so hard I might have punched my computer. So Mim said it genuinely feels like what I'm saying isn't important, which Gray responded saying, I don't feel important. I've been expressing my disdain for the Vatican and anybody associated. Mim says no one here likes the Vatican or has been excusing it. I've been saying it so much. Which Nadine says, I thought Mim has said that she understands your point. Mim says, all I asked is that it be understood why we feel the way that we do because of the possibilities faced. Oh my God, it's going somewhere, but no, we're good. Yes! Everyone else in the group chat must have muted notifications because I know of, well, yeah, because Mim even said in the beginning of the doc that like most people just stop talking in this group chat because Gray is always like this. Like, this isn't the first time this kind of thing has happened. This is why I hate group chats. I only have my like active group chats are like with quite literally the Fang Gang. It's 4 people. That is like, which by the way, we do have a Discord server. Just plugging that real quick. But like me, Taggy, Wani, Tuna is that's like my only super active, like throughout everything else. I will be talking to them group chat. The only other like group chats that like I am like in and like associate with are like for like things that happen like every once in a while. Like they aren't active like daily type things. We love the Fang Gang. Yay! The Discord chat has been leaked. Burn Gray. I would have messaged the manager, been like, yo, you gotta pick between me and this guy because I'm a dip. This is too much. Yeah, like, I mean, good. Honestly, it's good that after this, Gray gets kicked from this group chat because I don't feel like they're ever, like, contributing anything, like, positive to this. But going back to the messages, Mim responds to Nadine saying that I thought Mim has said that she understands your point. They use she here, so I'm going to start using she, her for Mim. He should be blackball. Oh my God. Okay, I'm sorry. That's too harsh. Mim responds. She says, yes, I never implied opposition or anything of the sort. Not only did I ask for that or aim for that, I only asked for empathy of why we are also upset and just asking that we be allowed that in addition. As much as your feelings are important, ours are as well. That's all I asked for. Which he responds, I don't feel like I'm genuinely understood here. I showed a friend our conversation who is also indigenous, and she said I'm being dismissed. So I'm upset. I hate the Pope, all popes. I hate the Vatican. That can't change, and I want the entire system abolished, so I don't give an ounce of respect to the church. Which I'm going to be so honest. This part right here where I showed a friend our conversation who's also indigenous, and she also said I'm being dismissed. I'm either calling cap, or it is another chronically online indigenous person like Gray is, because Gray is chronically online. Wholeheartedly, that's it. The church isn't a law, so you can't abolish it. Don't semantics. Oh, hi, Stone Poet. I don't want to continue talking about this while fucking dancing. I feel like that would be wildly inappropriate. So I was gonna wait for that to pass before I continued. But, you know what, actually, There we go. I'm gonna turn off my like those dance redeems and stuff right now because I don't want like this is like I mean somebody has violent like aggressive racist allegations against them. Honestly, we needed that. He needed the palate cleanser. You know what? So real, so real. I'll bring back the redeems every so often, maybe every like 2 to 3 pages, just to cleanse the minds. Why are the dogs freaking out?
I don't know.
Okay. What is? Hold on. I need to look at the cameras. What are my dogs are going crazy over something. Can you go do? Are you gonna go? Okay. Thank you. I was trying to see if there's something in the backyard, but I don't see anything. Even the dogs are mad. So apparently, according to Gray, another indigenous person says that he's being like dismissed with his feelings, even though it's so obviously so clear and obvious that that's not the case. But Mim responds saying, so it's being dismissal to acknowledge our feelings. Nadine even says, do you want to hear what you want to hear? Or do you want to hear our feelings based on our experiences? Me dancing while Gray rants about not being heard and understood. Gray responds, to ask to be respected regarding a terrible man and a terrible system behind a religion felt wrong to me. When that exact religion is why I'm as traumatized as I am, it angers me, it saddens me. The way I was being talked to, read to me as wrong. I didn't feel acknowledged, it felt dismissed. And I think Mim sends screenshots of all of the conversations so far. I think quite literally just reiterating or screenshots of everything that they've said already, which is them saying or her saying that like she is not being dismissive. She understands and still does understand. She can relate and says wholeheartedly that you have very valid reasons to feel that way. That's either Cap or that friend said, yeah, I guess so. That's what like I think it's Cap. I really do. Cause as like somebody just coming into this and seeing these screenshots, it's so extremely obvious how Mim like is not dismissing Gray's feelings. It is Gray who absolutely refuses to acknowledge who is supposed to be his friends, how his friends are feeling, and is dismissing their feelings on this. And so Gray responds saying, I just don't want to hear about the Pope or Vatican or praise the Pope's very minimal efforts as a leader. He did bare minimum, and all I've seen all night and morning was praise and saying how good he was, even when he wasn't. Seeing friends grieve him upsets me. It upsets me due to the nature of everything. Getting a headache from watching them go in circles. They can't possibly keep going in circles. But I mean, we are on page 9 of 32, so let me probably take that back. Nadine says, I'm not exactly awake, but all I've seen are exchanges of different viewpoints and explanations as to why people end up in all the different situations. You're upset for people having a different viewpoint than you. 32. Mim should have blocked him. She couldn't win. He won't listen. Yeah, and like that's in this part especially when Nadine says like you're upset that people are having a different viewpoint from you. It's like that's the sum of this is like, if you don't agree exactly what he is saying, you are attacking him and his culture and everything that like he stands for, when like, that's not how that works at all. Like, you can still be understanding and feel a different way. Somehow Gray is turning this straight conversation into a fucking NASCAR track. Mim responds with, what we grieve is the future. If you know what is going to happen is going on in America right now, you will know why. I never asked for respect for the Pope or the Vatican either. Nadine says, people are allowed to grieve who they want for good reason, as Mim has stated previously. If you associate with them with all that trauma and suffering from other people under the same umbrella, you're assuming everyone religious is the same, and that is not a problem that should be discussed here. How you're seeing these people, these friends grieve someone you don't like, and that's upsetting you, is something you should take up with them. Just continually going in circles. We are, and God, how many laps are we at this point? Because this is the finish line Gray wants to end, is that they're oh God. Well, because to this point specifically that Nadine says, you're upset for people having different viewpoints than you. Great response to that, saying, in regards to organized religion specifically, I think it's supposed to be Christianity. I've never seen it spelled like this. But they say, yeah, I do. I prefer not to hear praise for the Pope, or hearing how he did good or how his beliefs were radical when it's the bare minimum, and called having basic humanity. Seeing him grieved and mourned for still being a terrible person as he is upsets me. There's a lot to it. I can't even express it properly. I can't express myself properly. I don't know how to. The Vatican itself is very touchy for me, as well as the Pope. Definitely Hero. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Convo turning into Indy 500 with how many circles it's going in. For at this point, even more than that. With the grief outcome, oh, okay. Yeah, I've never seen it like referred to like that, which I understand, like the Xmas thing. But I just never seen it for like Christianity. They're really trying to hold his hand to get him to understand. They're working so hard, which like I like genuinely at this point I feel bad that they're like working so hard for somebody who is so clearly never going to like understand. My parents were a part of the mega church. I've seen so much weird shit. It's going in circles looking for a parking spot. God. And like they really keep continuing too, which like at this point you have to realize it's a lost cause. I realized so much sooner. No, I'm not Egyptian. I'm just black and like blue and gold. I'm so sorry. They want to be validated, but invalidate others. Yes, that specifically. And like how they're saying you're upset for people having different viewpoints than you. It's insane. Is the Egyptian in the room with us? It's not. Egyptian from Dougie, no. I'm a vampire bat, and I'm not Egyptian. I'm just black and like blue and gold. Fuck! I'm never escaping the Egyptian allegations. God. I think this type of person behavior reinforces people's distaste for sexual and racial minorities. Big L. Yes. Exactly. How many more Google Docs? Damn. God. Honestly, there's a new doc every day at this point. She's not even wearing the jewelry. I just have like, listen, black people can put little gold accessories in their hair. I do it whenever I have my locks in. But anyways, I digress from that. Back into this. And that's the thing is like, he keeps saying that like they are praising the Pope when like nobody's doing that. Bro's an off-brand. No, I'm just not that at all. The never-ending Google Docs will exhaust us all at some point. Damn, this and also God. Oh, Papitos, don't get me started with that. Don't get me started with that bitch. Let me get back into this. Because Mim responds and says, I never praised him. I think this is genuinely being assumed of me. I said he was a bad person. Which Nadine says, I promise you, none of us here have any value or respect for the Vatican or the Pope. Which Gray responds, replying to whenever Mim said, what we grieve is the future. If you know what's going on in America right now, you will know why. Gray responds saying, Canada is facing the same issues. We have fascist leaders here. I live in the most conservative part of Canada. I face issues all the time where I'm from. Which Mim responds to something that Nadine says when Nadine had mentioned, I promise you none of us here have any value of respect for the Vatican or the Pope. Mim said this. Nadine said, I'm just trying to dissolve all of the tension, which I honestly, again, I don't think they're doing like a really good job of this. I think them coming into this only made Gray feel more attacked because it was like, I think from his perspective at that point when Nadine stepped in, it was a 2v1 situation. When like, that's not obviously, we're all aware that's not the situation at all. But I feel like in his head, that's how it read to him since he's not understanding anything going on here. This is all caused by someone saying, damn, the Pope died. I guess, hope the next guy is at least decent. Yes. He's pulling Oppression Olympics. Honestly, Gray's legit sounding like someone who would try to one-up trauma admit. Oh, 100%. 100%. Definitely tired of it. I've had several controversies in circles that I'm around. Understandable. Very understandable. Oh, what did you, oh, keep coming for Jay and I take your knees. Thank you, Tiggy. Thank you. Yeah, get him, Tiggy. I wonder how Gray reacted when the queen passed, because her and her family weren't perfect either, but people still respected her. Oh my god, he was probably up in arms about that too. I pray nobody in his friend circles at the time said anything bad or said anything about the queen's passing, because he probably went off on a tangent like he has here. But Mim responds to the candidates facing the same issues that Gray said. Mim responds, she says, then you should understand why we fear that as well. Nadine says, because I genuinely believe both of you are on the same page, just different experiences. Gray says, then say fear, not grieving or mourning. To which Mim responds that this whole time I've never been trying to take anything away from you. I've been trying to ask for understanding, that Nadine is also saying. And then Mortimer comes into here with, good God, a paragraph. And this is, so the last message was at 5:03 from Mim. Mortimer comes in at 5:51. So almost about an hour later, with this paragraph, saying, reading all of this is genuinely just such a big mess of confusing others' words. Genuinely, I did not wish that the next pope would be as kind. I did not wish that the next pope would be as kind as he was, because I genuinely thought of the pope as a kind man, but because anything less would be considered something absolutely terrible for the state of religion, people's views, and many terrible events, just like the candidators, that would worsen with someone less accepting, even if he was not the best of person. Mim had just wanted to bring up a point about the homosexuality that may not have been correct, and never said anything regarding Canadian Indigenous people that would insist he did not care or thought less of them and your history, Tony, and had stated multiple times the exact opposite. I do agree that grieving and mourning would not be the best words to use, but I do think having conflicting feelings and thoughts is not wrong, and would not make someone accept and embrace someone's absolutely shitty behavior at best and completely offensive actions. To assume someone is supportive of him entirely for grieving what little support he gave is insensitive. To go off about all of us caring about the Pope personally and agreeing with the Vatican entirely is jumping to conclusions. You could have genuinely just asked us entirely not to discuss him, but this ended up into a spiral of blaming Mim and us of not caring about Indigenous people's issues, despite the fact that everyone has agreed that's not the case. We do not care about him. We care about the support he gave, that even if it was just an ounce, kept things from falling apart. We are not grieving him, but we are grieving the little hope we had. We are also fearful, which does not help the sadness feel any better, and is okay to feel at the same time. And we understand that you do not feel the same way as us, and you don't have to, and you don't feel anything but hatred for the man and any of his actions. Literally, all Mim asked was that you understood why they would feel any sort of grief. Things are going to change drastically depending on the next pope, whether we like it or not. This could end very, very terribly at the worst and decent at best. And the only thing I've seen here is not understanding that we're all on the same page. Like Nadine said, this is just a difference of viewpoints, and that's okay. We all agree the Pope and the Vatican and the people who use religion as a way to bring hate towards others is terrible and absolutely unreasonable. Please, can we just stop arguing and stop jumping to conclusions immediately, or set boundaries? A simple, why would you grieve the Pope? Here's why I think he's terrible, which he was, and a we don't grieve him, but we are grieving the little thing we had and worried about what's to come, is literally all this conversation had to be, which it could have been. Oh, God. Mortimer's right in everything they said, but God, it was just a very long message. Let me go back into... That was a few minutes ago. After there, repeated, not a paragraph. That's an essay. White dot on black background. Let me guess. Next thing he said, Tony not gonna listen to. That's fair. How many Google Docs are getting released? Good God. Okay, it's so many. It's so many. Oh, thank you, Tier, for the Queen's Care package. Angry one. Woody, hello. I see you tomorrow. Oh my god. Mind you, this started at 1 to 2 p.m. At this point, it's 6 p.m. according to the timestamp. Same shit, different day. God, that's so good. Yeah, like this is taking up these people's whole day, which is fucking crazy. Chat, can someone give me a TLDR? Okay, I hopefully if somebody hasn't caught you up by the time I catch up with all the messages, I will catch you up. We're in the first few pages of 32. I got the perfect response for these types of shit. Pope died, Gray was mad. Someone said Dan, hope the next guy's, yeah. 32! He didn't listen. This man is fucking hard-headed. Holy shit. Can we have a breather or something? Hold on here. I've put the redeems back on. If y'all need a little dance break or something, y'all can redeem one of those while I'm catching up on the messages. That's what this is about? That's crazy? Yeah. What's the drama today? It's a lot. You will receive a very grumpy want-a-fur. Why? Why grumpy wants-a-fur?
When a good thing goes bad.
Why grumpy? 32 pages. Yeah, it's 32 pages. To do me clown meetups, I swear. It's been a time. It's been a time. So anybody coming in, a little TLDR. This is a group chat with multiple people in it. There's one individual named Gray who has reiterated so many times that he is indigenous. This happened back when the Pope was passing. People in the group chat were saying that they hope the next Pope is kind of as progressive or more progressive as the like Pope that had just passed was, which Gray took offense to the fact that people were even grieving like anything about it, and immediately became combative in saying how much he hates the Pope, he hates the Vatican, he's indigenous, they've done all these terrible things, and they've killed millions of indigenous people, to which Mim, the person who made this doc, responds to Gray's messages saying that she understands Gray's feelings, and they are very validated in why they feel that way, and they do not think the Pope is a like good figure, and they don't believe in the Vatican or anything like that. It's just that the Pope that just passed was more progressive in not saying like homosexuality should not be a crime and things like that, and they are hoping that the next Pope is going to like have that same trend of being more progressive than the very conservative popes there have been in the past and how conservative the religion is. Gray has just absolutely disregarded all of those, and he reiterates over time and time again how much he hates the Vatican, he hates the Pope, he hates the Catholic Church as a whole. He has trauma from religion, he has generational trauma being indigenous, and that the fact that they are even grieving at all is upsetting him because he has all this trauma. And other people in the group chat are jumping in because it was mainly between Mim and Gray, and so other people are jumping in saying that like we're not agreeing with the Vatican, and we're also not saying you are invalid in what you're feeling. Everybody's validating your feelings. It's just that this Pope was more progressive, and we're just hoping for a next one because that's a worldwide influence. Is where we're at right now. Baldini is a different kind of curse compared to Bald J. Because y'all shouldn't make me bald. Bus taking me back to New York came and left 30 minutes early. Oh, no. Oh, I'm so sorry, Wani. I understand why you're grumpy. I read some of this. Basically, Tony's fucking hard-headed and a narcissist and assuming shit, and Nuance is dead, and we need to open the schools. We do. God, we need to open the schools. So this person decided that they were personally victimized by people wanting a more progressive Pope. Yes, that's about it. That's about it. Yeah. Greg really sitting in the middle of the group chat with his fingers in his ears going, la 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 la. Yeah, my ex dated someone like this. Damn. As a fellow indigenous person, I remember the Pope apologizing for the terrible stuff they did in 2022. And that's the thing, is that Gray had brought up that the Pope did like go on basically a tour, like an apology tour in Canada. And he's saying how detrimental that was, and that like that just made things so much worse, and that like indigenous people are just not cared about, and they don't understand why indigenous people aren't cared about, this, that, and the other. And like the entire group chat is like agreeing with them and saying that like you are just in your feelings, and like Nobody's invalidating that. But he just refuses to understand that, to be honest. I want to say he doesn't have to reiterate the fact that he's indigenous and hates the Pope. Like, I hate Trump, but I don't hammer that shit. Yeah, like, exactly. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. So after Mortimer came in, this is a I like pancakes, so you hate waffles conversation. Yes, it is. Hey, cut that shit out. It's odd at this point. Honestly, it really is. So Mortimer comes in about an hour later. We're reaching 6 o'clock here, and like this all started at like 2:30 is whenever Gray went off, because people were saying that they were hoping the next pope was like kinder. So this has gone from 2:30 all the way until we're at 6 p.m. now. I don't want to be mean, but like, do these guys have jobs, chores to do at home, a pet, literally anything other than this Discord? God, I don't know. We're went from lunch to dinner time, just arguing. I don't know. I have other, like, I'm unemployed and I still have other things to be doing, you know? Like, there's so much else that you could be doing than just arguing in a Discord group chat. Wait, are they American? Gray is Canadian. I think the other people in the group chat are American. If I may play devil's advocate here, maybe they feel like grieving means they lose the support they have and feel lesser by it. Like, well, the problem with it is that, like, Gray has said multiple times that, like, the Pope should not be grieved because grieving means that you care, and you shouldn't care for the Pope because the Pope and the Vatican have done so many horrible things. To which Mim in the group chat has responded to this multiple times saying, I don't care about the Pope. I don't support the Pope. I don't support the Vatican. It is just that it helps if the Pope isn't completely anti-LGBTQ, which the last Pope wasn't, and they're hoping for the next Pope to be, like, better, is all Mim is saying. That's all Mim is saying in this. And Gray is just refuses to accept that. Gray is 28. Yeah. No, these are grown adults. This is a conversation between adults. These are not teenagers. Maybe grieving is the wrong word. Yeah, that's and like that's even what was said earlier, is that, like, Mortimer even says here, like, they agree that grieving and mourning is not the best word to use, but like even not using those specific words, like, it's very obvious what the feeling is. 28, bro's my age. This man is older than me. Maybe better to have a pope that tries to make up for the follies that the church did over the last minute. That's all these people are saying. Gray is a 28-year-old acting like a fucking child. Maybe they have different definitions of what grieving is. Yeah, that's what it is. Like, but even with having a different definition of grieving, like, I think it's very clear in, like, how Mim has explained themselves time and time again that even if that's the wrong word, like, you could understand what they are trying to say if you wanted to understand it. And I don't think Gray wants to understand it at all, is the thing. And Gray is acting like nobody's understanding him when everybody has only been understanding of him. This person at most like 28, about to be 30 and acting like this. Mim even said they weren't mourning the man himself. They were mourning the possibility of a mega conservative pope replacing Fritz. Exactly. As a fellow Canadian, many a 28-year-old, Gray is grieving is still okay. If a person's racist grandparents die, they are grieving. That's totally valid. Yeah, they did bad things, and would have hated me for no good reason, but that doesn't mean they can't be loved. That too, like, you can still, like, those words are, like, correct. But I'm saying, like, even if those aren't the best words, the intent behind it is so clear. That's my baby, by the way. That's my husband. Fucking preaching. But yeah, the intent behind it is so is so clear and so easy and readily to be, like, understood if somebody wants to understand it. But Gray does not want to understand it at all. Gray only cares about his feelings, and that's the problem here. Grieve is still a valid word because even if you don't know them, you can still be sad. Exactly. We need a truth nuke team. But after Mortimer's messages here, Nadine says, thank you for taking the time to writing all this, because I agree. More than half of this did not need to happen. Mim said, I like that. If you write it down, Mim says, what Nadine said, I saw you typing for a while, and thank you for taking the time to reiterate everything on what's happened. And I want to go on record and say, I do not trust the Vatican or the church as a whole. I had stated it, but will state it again, especially because I'm Mexican and my European side is Lutheran. My brother was denied his rights by the church, and I was actively discriminated against by the church I grew up in. I do not trust the church. I haven't since I was young. I'm also a liberal anarchist who disrupts any kind of authority. I do not feel safe in organized religion, therefore worship Anubis and Khonshu. What I feared is not the respect of the Pope or the Vatican, but what will come of the world if we get someone worse in that seat. No one was or is against you. That was never the case, and we never sided with the Pope either. To which Mortimer responds, exactly, we're not against you, Tony, especially not on something as serious as you and your people's history. To which, after all of this, does that say Khonshu? Is Moon Knight? Well, I fucking guess. But after all of this, Gray responds, nobody will get me. After three people have come in here to say how they understand and nobody is saying it. They swear they're the pro-tag. There's literally a pastor at Trump's presidency who talked and begged with him to think about LGBT people and kids of color. Is she about? Yes, like oh God, virtual tantrum, man. Oh, I'm about to rip my eyebrows out. It's crazy. I want to fucking punch him in his stupid mouth. I don't get it. He just, after everything, says nobody will get me. I've been talking to indigenous friends and they all agree, being shown everything. Nobody here will understand me or my anger or anything. I don't feel safe here at all. If I felt dogpiled, some of my words got twisted and everyone's fine with that. I am not safe here. I genuinely don't know how, after everything, you take that as, like, quite literally nobody twisted his words. I think we need an old Yeller MJ. I'm not safe here. What the fuck do you think is gonna happen? We JJK jump into this Stinkleberry? I don't like, and like this seems like such an extremely safe space by like everybody's messaging and how reasonable they're being, especially spending the past 4 hours trying to like show that they care and like are understanding of this guy who is quite literally not caring about them in the same way at all. Being defensive, my captain in crunch. It's called a fucking discussion. Didn't feel safe. Then we got kicked out. He freaked. I don't get it. I don't understand the like mental gymnastics you have to go through to like get to this conclusion of like you not feeling safe here and nobody understanding. And like again, they should have just stopped this conversation. I feel like from the start, you know, for them, hindsight's 2020, but from the start, this seemed like the wrong hill to bark up. I'm gonna keep it a ban. When I become Prime Minister of Canada after my second term as president, I'm banning this goof off the internet. Oh yeah, nobody will get me. Yeah, that's the NPD chief. That's it right there. Yeah, he didn't listen. I hate him. He's hard-headed, and I'm also stubborn. Nowadays, I can understand what people say. Yeah, it's like, I don't get it. But you know, we're on page 12 of 32, so we've still got more to get through. Nadine said, if you don't want to elaborate and leave it at that, then you're not making us understand. You can show us all your indigenous friends and have them all agree, but you can't share what they're saying to us. Mim said from the beginning, all I've been asking for was that we can't be on the same page for every position in here to feel comfortable expressing their feelings. I don't know how it got so twisted to the point that it seems like any of us are downplaying that genuinely. To which Gray responded, "It isn't my job to educate others on something very traumatic. I'm not re-traumatizing myself, especially not while I'm very vulnerable," which, like, I don't even know what they're talking about here. I'll be so honest. I don't even know what they mean by this. There's still 20 pages. Yeah, there's still 20 pages. Imagine having this argument instead of getting bitches. Bro could have been eating a sandwich but decided to sit up in a group chat. Setting my MySpace status says nobody gets me. Shut up, Glove. Oh my god. I don't even know what they mean by, like, I'm not re-traumatizing myself. And, like, it's not my job to educate others on something very traumatic. I don't even know what they're saying here. What song you gonna put in the background to go with that? The song choice is, yes, I was just about to say the song choice right now. Bring Me to Life by Evanescence is playing. This would be the song to go with that. But Nadim responds, "Well, if you can't see what we're saying, get out if you don't feel safe, since clearly you don't like what we're saying and don't want to explain. If you can't have this conversation now, pick it up another time." This is straight out of a fucking 2020 COVID Discord chat made by somebody named Arson and Socks. Linkin Park's Numb. You're right. Waiting for the black icon and banner at the Twitter bio. Nobody gets me. I'm never gonna talk to this dude. Oh my gosh. Gray said, "I don't want this conversation at all. Major triggering for me. I explained my part and all I got was everyone being defensive and dogpiling," which, like, I think, oh my gosh, EXO Tour Life. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one too. I don't understand, because, like, it seems very clear that he wanted this conversation at the start. Like, exactly. He brought it up. Like, he continued the conversation after there was no engagement from other people. Another doc has hit. Yes. Another Google Doc has hit X. Welcome in, Oatsmade. How's it going? Imagine just trying to have a goon sesh on the side, but you keep getting pics in this Discord. Oh my god. God, now I'd leave the Google. I'd leave the Discord. Me, 1 + 1 = 3. Everyone, no, it's 2. Me, you're dogpiling me. You don't get it. My trauma. Minari, thank you for the Queen's Care package. That's basically what, like, it's just, I've never been this heated at trauma. Gemma, I want to apologize to you specifically, because I feel like you were always so angry in my chats that of, like, whether it be me covering drama or me making a tier list or me looking at something. I genuinely feel like I have brought more stress and anger into your life, and I apologize so much for that. 1 + 1 is obviously fish. Come on. I'm the victim. I'm the hostage holding the smoking gun. Oh, man. Not anxious for... Oh, okay, cool. I need to eat. I need a snack. I need angry eat. I'm naturally fired up. Okay, me too. Me too, wholeheartedly. I get it. Okay, because literally Mortimer responds to that, like, I didn't want this conversation. Mortimer literally says, Tony, if you didn't want this conversation, then why did you start it? You brought up those points. And then Gray responds, sorry for being open and hating the Pope very openly. What? Mortimer says, all you had to say was don't discuss him here or with you. Nadine says you could leave, yet you're still here. Mim says, we were not being defensive. Genuinely, if you read back, you will see I never defended anything aside from my own identity when it started being attacked. We don't care about the Pope, Tony. We said that. Gray responded to Nadine saying you could leave, yet you're still here. He says, you're the least kind one here right now. Stop that. What do you... What do you... I mean, you quite literally say you don't feel safe here. You say, I am not safe here. Like, then leave. If you don't feel safe and you're not... Stop that. Is Nadine a cat eating plastic? I would have gone fucking feral at this point. Like, I genuinely don't understand. I genuinely can't understand the mental process that like Gray is going through to like get through here. I just saw my recommended. I don't know, Lil Skittle. I have no idea, but welcome in. Also, ads are about to start in about 2 minutes, so I will pause. I do pause in like covering new information or continuing the reading of the doc when the ads are playing, and we'll pick it back up once the ads are done. I would have fucked up the vibes real quick. It's the gift of LeBron. That's what like he honestly needs to leave the internet for good. He cannot handle it. I'll be real. I would have started spamming the chat with the most insane TF2 gifts. That's what I'm saying. Like I genuinely feel like Nadine coming in. I feel like if like you're coming into this conversation, it's, and again, I know hindsight's 2020 for them, but like my view of this is that like he is not, like Gray is not changing. He's not changing. There's no point trying to rehash or reiterate, re-say anything. You just have to change the conversation. You wholeheartedly just have to disrupt the conversation and move it to something else, because you're not going to go anywhere like with this. Like it's only going in circles, and a new person coming into the mix isn't going to change that. But the you're the least kind one here right now. Stop that is honestly so fucking funny. Nadia says, if you think we're dogpiling you for having different views, why should I stop? Grace says, I don't want to lose friends over something so tedious. Which Nadim responds, you said you don't feel safe. I'm telling you to leave and take time to yourself because you don't want to see what we're saying. Which Grace says, then specify instead of just sounding like you hate me and want me to go away forever in that very vague and rude phrasing. My dumbass in this chat. The ads are about to start. So I'm gonna pause it right there for whenever the ads happen. But like, I don't understand. I can't understand Gray's like thoughts here. I just really can't. Vague means vague. You're taking it personally. Exactly. And like, you quite literally say you don't feel safe here. Then leave. So I gotta break the tension because the song is playing. That's understandable. Understandable. I'm gonna go reheat food once ads hit. That's fair. That's fair. I've been bracketing every message with Maxwell just for the reactions at this point. I take their mom personally. Oh my god. Alright. I don't know how you can like think this. I don't know. Maxwell. Oh, there's the ad break. So 3-minute ads. Oh, I can't even jam with Maxwell without getting fucking yeeted. There we go. I feel like the ad breaks like just give people time to cool down from this. It's just a fucking mental break that you need, because this is so ridiculous. It's so stupid. That's the thing. It's really dumb. And like the way that Gray phrased it, like the first threads with like them saying that Mim and Mortimer and these people are aggressively and like actively racist and like just colonizers, when like Mim even says like they also face the same like oppressions or like similar oppressions. Like how are you calling them a colonizer? I'm genuinely getting a headache from the Olympic level mental gymnastics screen is pulling off right now. Tier, no, drink some water, get some medicine if you need. Don't get a headache off of this, please. Oh god, don't think about these things too hard. They are oh my gosh. Please tell him I said thank you so much and I love. Okay, sorry, I had to respond to my dad. Thank you for the Queen's Care package. Water, dog, my ass needs Excedrin and vodka for no, that combo. Don't have that combo, please. I don't think that's a combo that should be had. We're back. No ad. Oh, it's still, for me, it still says the ad break ends in 44 seconds. Ooh! There's a fly.
Yeah, I see.
I believe in you. Maybe playing ranked rivals will counter my headache. I don't know.
Jesus.
I don't know if
What?
that's that's a crazy statement there, Chunkus. I'm not gonna lie. They have enough head hurting. Yeah, no, I'll wait until everybody gets back from the ads. Don't worry. I have it shows me when like the ad break ends too. It shows me, it has a timer for when the ad started, when they end. Negative plus a negative equals a positive. I don't know about that one. That was a good break. Welcome back from the ads, everybody. Welcome back from the ad. Yeah, negative plus a negative equals agony. That is, I don't think it's gonna be a positive. Time to crash out more. Oh gosh. And like, their response of like, I don't want to lose friends over something so tedious, when like, you like, he specifically was like so combative and aggressive with the people. I don't understand. I'm in misery. Oh my gosh. We have the censored person coming back into the chat, because like they were the first person to send a message. They say, sorry I haven't said much, I just got off of work, can we all just civilly talk things, or would it be better if we just drop the convo and take a breather? I would say it's just better to drop the convo and take a breather here. And it looks like somebody's employed here, because they say they just got off work, which is why they haven't been Man, I'd be so mad if my phone was going off about this my whole work shift, and I could just feel that shit pop, like, happening in my... Papa Mutt! Hello? Thank you for the follow? Welcome in? What? I'm nervous now. Hi, thank you. Welcome in. Oh my gosh. Not me covering some Twitter drama, and Papa Mutt comes and drops a follow. Hi, happy Thursday to you. Oh my gosh. Who the fuck is Papa? They're a furry VTuber. Super cool. Has the most cursed models I've fucking seen in my life. No offense, but I live in a cave. Yeah, my husband does live in a cave. So some dork on God. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're covering a Google Doc right now. Just chronically online people, to be honest. But oh my gosh, thank you for the follow. I love your streams. I love your cursed models. They're very, very interesting, let me say. Oh no, Google Doc in 2025, darkest timeline. Yeah, we are, what are we at? We're at page 13 of 32. So we do have somebody who is employed here who just got back into the conversation, saying, can we civilly talk things out, or would it be better if we just drop the convo? I think, again, so many times this conversation should have just been dropped. They should not have kept going. Gray is not willing to understand or like even think from somebody else's perspective outside of his own. He doesn't have it. Hey, I'm employed. I'm part-time. Listen, I'm unemployed. I haven't been able to get a job. So not saying anything about people like employed or not. But because this conversation has been going on for like 4 hours at this point, because they're at 6:30. This started at like what, 2? Chad, I've lost almost 10 pounds, but Taigi's candy stream pissed me off so bad I need a Snickers. Oh my god, you can have a Snickers, babe, for sure. I think you'll be all right with that, especially with how much you've been working out. So Nadine comes back in, responding to Gray saying, specify instead of sounding like you hate me and want me to go away forever in that vague and rude phrasing. I don't have a Snickers. Wait, what? Is a Slickers okay? What? I'm just confused on how Taigi likes Whoppers. That shit's... Listen, Taigi's tier list was so fucking wrong. I don't want to Google Slickers. Listen, I understand y'all talked bad about my tier list because I don't like chocolate or caramel or nuts. But like, Taigi's tier list was just wrong, okay? I explained this whole drama to my guinea pig and she did not care. We're getting distracted. Back into this. Nadine responds, they say, you're the one being rude. It's not my job to educate others on something very traumatic. Yet you send everything we're saying to other people and everything each other's saying is being twisted. You and your double standards. Which Gray responds by saying, I'm talking to Indigenous and Black folks. They're private people as well. I'm not sharing what they say. Also saying that is rude is you not understanding how traumatic it is to explain. I'm talking to a friend right now in a call about all of this, and they dislike how everybody is treating me, another private person who is Indigenous and shares my exact experiences. Jay, your tier lists are always wrong. No offense. Stop. Tarkov looks fun. I wish I was a Poochie. Tarkov's hard. Also, this whole time, my partner is listening to The Simpsons violently loud. I'm sorry. I don't even know. I guess I'm sorry for that. Maybe ask them to turn it down. I'm not gonna lie. Gray saying that they're talking to like other Indigenous and like Black people about this, and like I don't know how you send. First of all, the fact that they are platonically, don't decimate me, but your tier list hurts me. I love the inclusion of that. Knowing that what John's power is and how he will use it, seeing that message. Don't worry, I will do more tier lists in the future. But like Gray saying that they're talking to Indigenous and Black people right now, like in private, I feel like I partially feel like they're capping, but like me being a Black person and like reading these messages from the start, I could tell like the very clear intent of like what people were saying and how Gray is just absolutely refusing to understand that. Like the only way you have other people agreeing with you is if they are also extremely chronically online and do not understand nuance. But like, again, I don't feel like they really are talking to these other people. I don't know where like you would find other people that like just completely disregard everything that's being said and like, yeah, all of these people are actually attacking you and completely dismissing everything you said. Like they're basically like reading all of these messages as like, fuck Indigenous people. The Pope is the greatest thing to ever happen and they can't wait for the next Pope. When like, that's so obviously not the case. I can't get it. I can't grasp my head or wrap my mind around it, grasp it at all. So Nadine responds here by saying, you're dismissing our traumatic experiences and understandings, viewpoints. Everything we're offering is personalized and you don't want to hear it because it doesn't align with what you think. And instead of saying, let's stop this conversation, you choose to keep going while we're trying to unwind it. We're trying to understand you, but you don't want to say anything and make assumptions. And now we're all getting heated because of it. So far, outside of like the fact that I personally think Nadine should have come in and just tried to change the conversation, Nadine is probably like the most, I feel like, realistic here of like this is dumb and you're not understanding us because we're having a different viewpoint than you. What are we talking about? So much drama, honestly. Very stupidly is all of this going down. So Gray responds here by saying, I cannot explain in detail as that would be far more traumatic for me, but for me, do y'all want me to re-traumatize myself to explain in depth? Also to say it is my job to educate others. If y'all care about Indigenous people, do the research and listen to others and their resources because I'm not re-traumatizing myself in order to benefit other people. If anybody would listen, I'm not hurting myself so others can learn a little lesson that they don't have the scars from. I express my views, my points, that's my boundary and my comfort, yet all I got was defensiveness from everyone. I don't want to hear about how good the Pope was or was not at all. All I heard was that all night and day, which Nadine responds, which I don't take a shot every time Gray says Indigenous. Do not, you will get sent to the hospital. I literally said that earlier. Like you could make a drinking game out of it. Nobody like, and that's the other thing. Nobody's asking them to like educate them. Anything that's a sensitive topic, I honestly don't care. Take a shot every time they mention re-traumatize. Oh God, that again, that's alcohol poisoning. You're getting alcohol poisoning. Full stop. Like, and Nadine says, we're not saying the Pope was good. Nobody said that in the last messages. They're all reiterating it. And if you don't want this conversation because it's too dramatic, stop bringing it up. You want to talk about educating us, but don't give us that same sentiment or respect to Mim and her experiences and dismiss it entirely. I'm done here. You guys can keep at it, but I'm stepping away. Finch, hi! How's it going? Fuck it. I want to see their 23andMe results in before 0.0001% indigenous. I don't want to like, I don't want to even imply anything that like they aren't indigenous or they're lying about it. But like, I don't know. Just like the way they're like going about this whole thing is just so wrong. Hey Ridley, what's it going? What's up? How's it going? The censor person came back in because Nadine says like you guys can keep at it, but like they're out. They're just stepping away. There's no like reason to keep going this. What do people deride the ghost of famous people after they just die? What do you mean? Listening while at work? It's a lot. It's a lot. But it might be a good listen while you're at work. So, the censor person comes back in and says, I like how my question just got ignored. I literally feel like I'm about to have a breakdown. First, work was fucking hell and I get off to my friends arguing. Can't we try and talk stuff out? All of us has been through traumatic things. Can we not all relate to each other? Nadine says, because nothing's going anywhere. In response to this censored person by saying, we're trying, but everything's getting twisted in one way or another. We can have this conversation another time because I can't right now. I'm sorry for ignoring you. The censored person responds with, it's fine. Like the second option I mentioned was just dropping the conversation. I hate seeing everyone all upset. I care about all of y'all. Mortimer responds saying, I agree with blank. All of us need to take a step back. Isn't the censored person who talked about an art stream at the beginning? Damn, imagine coming home and this is what you say. Yes! Literally, they were literally talking about, they said they almost have their backpack done, so they might actually do an art stream tonight. And then they come back to this, to paragraphs upon paragraphs of people messaging back and forth and arguing because everybody's just being misconstrued one way or another. Probably the worst time to have a goons at 100%. The worst time. I feel so bad if they were planning that after getting off of work and then they just see this shit. That kills the mood. Can we relate to each other? No, don't you see? My trauma is more important. Yours isn't, but I won't outright say it. I will goalpost move. That's quite literally what Gray is doing here. Then Mortimer responds saying, I agree. We all need to take a step back. Gray says, I'm sorry for not responding directly to you. The blank person, I'm not personally trying to dismiss your messages or feelings, and I apologize for hurting your feelings on an already hard day, which is crazy. This is a crazy message to send after like quite literally dismissing everybody else's feelings. But you're not trying to dismiss their feelings after an already hard, like I'm not crazy, right? Like I'm not crazy for catching that. Cause like they quite literally said like they did not care about other people's feelings, but this person they do. Gray's wildin'. Gray's absolutely wildin' here. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Mortimer says there's so many emotions, feelings, thoughts, especially nuance to this conversation that is not leading anywhere. Love y'all, and I hope we can come to an actual conclusion about this soon. So far, it looks like Mortimer and Nadine are just they're tapping out. They can't continue doing this. Gray as well, and you're crazy for other reasons. Okay, you got me there. Mim says, at the end of the day, I just want this to be a group where each and every person can feel safe expressing their feelings without judgment. That is what I asked for in my first message, and that remains. And if it requires we step away from this conversation permanently, then we should. There's been far too many misunderstandings in one conversation for this to continue. Gray says, I just don't want to talk about it. I hate the Pope. Do not mourn him around me or anything at all. I do not want to hear about all of that ever. Solid boundary. I'm solid on my perspective of hating that general area of life as an indigenous person in Canada. There it is again. I want to drop it, which the censor person said, let's drop it then. Y'all, we've hit the halfway. No, we haven't hit the halfway mark. Okay, so here We get screenshots of a conversation, I think, directly just between Mim and Gray after this conversation that happened. So this was on the 21st. So this happened April 21st. Catch me task manager in Discord after this if they were me. Gonna scan through the doc and count how many times Gray says indigenous. Figure out how many shots somebody would take. They're better friends than me. I would have bet them double or nothing on their trauma just for blowing up my phone with notifications. Oh, this has been going on for like over 5 hours at this point. Yeah, this stops at 4:21, 6:43 p.m. is whenever the conversation finally gets dropped. Oh, okay, I'm back. I don't know why my tracking just decided to die for a second there. And so there is a message from Gray 4:29. So like a week after this, a week and a day after this happened, that says, I want to move on from all the shit that happened and I don't want to address it. I just want it clear that I'm not apologizing for my viewpoint. I am, however, going to apologize for disenfranchising the right to grieve. The specific topic that happened, I wish to never be addressed again or mentioned as a specific topic. It's just too much for me and such a major trigger for me as a whole. I am, however, not happy with Nadine at all. So they sent that at like the night of the 29th of April. So about a week later, that that's their boundary. Bro, venting after my birthday, that friend desperate for attention. And that they say /serious that they are not happy with Nadine at all. Which Nim responds, they say, for one, I will say no one wanted or wants apologies for your point of view or even wanted to change it. I do admit and apologize. I came off dismissive at first, but as I mentioned, and I did not want to directly address it as A, it's not a topic I'm educated on as I'm from the United States, and B, it's not my ethnicity, so I didn't want to cross any boundaries by addressing it. I will also emphasize no one disagreed with you on it or the essence behind it. The only point pushed that came off combative was me pushing to give us room to speak and express as well. It has happened a few times, whether or not it was coincidental, when someone will express being upset about a topic, but a bit after you would begin to express several disapprovals of the topic. Again, it was understandable for the topic itself, and I'm sure there are reasons for the one beforehand as well. However, that was the only issue I had and repeated, and there are many other ways to address it, since it feels quite accusatory towards anyone else involved. I'm also only mentioning I also only mentioned my own experiences with the church to express to you that I was on your side in terms of those feelings and beliefs, not to compete. There was a lot of hurt dealt to each person from the situation in numerous ways. A lot of it stemming from misunderstandings and miscommunications. I will also say I don't appreciate that the situation has been taken out of the group and further instigated either, since I heavily believe it's what added fuel to the fire and only caused further tension and hostility. I do agree this should be dropped permanently in general, and I only want to elaborate because a lot of it was heavily misconstrued, yet I don't imagine nor expect those feelings will change. Mim is better than me. I would have responded, cry about it. Cry about it's crazy. Pody, no. Mim then adds, I also want to say I don't appreciate my identity as someone mixed being used as a weapon or narration point behind my back as well. You do not know me as a person outside of these few months, nor do you know how I grew up or what I still deal with. Respect is and will always be a two-way street. Which, like, I don't understand that, like, I personally, I guess I never really, like, apologize here, but, like, I would not be apologizing to Gray, because, like, there's nothing to apologize for. He, like, purposefully misconstrued things, and like they said, like, the conversation should not have been taken out of the group. Mim has the patience of a for real, at this point. Bro blew up my group chat for 5 hours and told me they weren't really sorry, so yeah, cry about, yeah, like, it's, Mim's better than me. Mim is better than me. I could never deal with, but, like, again, I'll be honest. The other thing here is that, like, they've only been friends for, like, 3 months. I feel like Gray would not pass a vibe check to, like, be, like, for, like, me and him to be friends. Like, I know I will say I'm pretty pretty good and like pride myself on being able to like vibe check people pretty well. And so I don't keep like negative company like that, or people that would turn into negative company. But like, you gotta realize at this point, like, you should probably be distancing yourself from him. Because you even say that, like, this isn't the first time this happened. Like, this has happened several times before. Not gonna lie, Elfer apologizing, he doesn't deserve. Well, I wouldn't say she apologized. I don't think she really apologized here. But if she did, I would say like an L there. OJ, you can read vibes, huh? I think so, pretty well. I believe. Am I about to be tested on this? Because I am nervous under pressure, I'll be honest. So the conversation in the friend group that you genuinely just forget about and move on. If you can't be friends. I'm sorry, he doesn't deserve an apology or forget. I don't think so. I don't think so. I'll be so honest. Did they? Yeah, I don't really think Mim apologized here. What's my vibe? I don't know. You seem pretty cool. So, listen, I can vibe check people that like I interact with a lot. I feel like I haven't interacted with you enough to like do a proper vibe check. If I may derail the chat, I would have to, because like, so it's just sidebar real quick. Whenever I'm going to collab with somebody, I will watch their content first. Like, I'll go through and watch their content and like see, like, I'll look at like some like their tweets or something, or if they have any videos or like clips and something. I will get an idea of like the kind of person that they are, especially on stream. And then if I feel like it could be good, it doesn't, like, there aren't any like alerting red flags, I do calls with people before I like will do a collab with them for the first time, if it's going to be on my stream. If we're going to collab and it's not on my stream, I'm fine just jumping right into it, because even if the vibes are off, it's not something that will affect like me, like in my community necessarily. So that's like where I like my vibe checks happen. It's best, I feel like, in a one-on-one situation, like within like a Discord call, or like if we interact a lot like online through like messaging, either like messaging individually, or whatchamacallit, like responding to each other on like Twitter. I can kind of get a vibe there too. But I don't know. I don't think I can like on the spot vibe check like chatters necessarily. Because I feel like I've got so much going on whenever I am streaming. And like trying to respond to like everybody and read everybody's messages. I can't give a like full vibe check like that. So I apologize. I'll let you know, all my chatters seem really cool. I fuck with y'all. That's why I want y'all to join the Discord, so I can like get to know y'all even better, and chat with y'all more, because y'all, so far, you know, everybody gives a pretty good vibe. Gamma gives a very passionate vibe that I have of different things, and being easily angered by stupid people. I fail the vibe check because I do get no. I would not say you failed the vibe check. I feel like we're on the same vibe, because I also am very passionate about things and will start yelling. I don't be ripping my clothes off like you do whenever we do something wrong on a tier list, but I understand the getting heated about things that you're passionate about and whatnot. Mim did say sorry, but the vibes of the paragraph feel very apologetic. That's fair. If my vibe isn't weird about TF2 and Medic from TF2, no, I definitely picked up on that. You passed mine. Yay! See, that's what I hope, that I pass y'all's vibe checks. So like, I would hope that I do. The fact that like y'all come in here and like chat with me and stuff. But yeah, that's how my vibe checks like normally go, type of thing. So getting back into this, and now that we've derailed about vibes, Gray responds back, my true vibe is nerding out too much on superheroes and comic books and the multiverse. Oh, interesting. Okay, noted. So Gray responds to Mim's message. Mim sends this April 30th. So Gray doesn't respond until May 5th. So like a week after saying, you know, apologizing then slapping on the thing at the end is so backhanded, right? I don't like the way things were handled. I've been dealing with a lot offline and nothing got resolved. I can't focus on anything and the stress of this hasn't helped. The way non-Indigenous people treat me and Indigenous issues, from you to Nadine to Mortimer, was so uncalled for. I can't expect non-Indigenous people to understand or learn about my people's issues, but from people who all pride themselves on being inclusive, it was all wrong. I expected better from someone who is triracial, but the way I was dismissed and treated as though I'm wrong and no, nothing was terrible. You refuse to acknowledge that you're privileged. I expected better. I really did. I had trust that giving space would sort things out if we couldn't fully agree, but all you've done was avoid me after giving a terrible apology. I expected better, Mim. I'm one of the most oppressed groups in the world, and I was not treated with dignity. I was cast aside and shunned. That isn't how people should treat Indigenous people in regards to something such as touchy as religion. That's one of the largest issues my people face, and I was treated no better. It sucks. It just sucks. Oh, I didn't know they were Indigenous. Shut up, Bonnie. Oh. I read Ford on the dock to tally the Indigenous counter, and I'm fucking livid at him. What the fuck? Also, my final tally was 35 uses of the word Indigenous. I don't feel like that's... I feel like you missed some. There's no way it was only 35. Triracial, biracial, but yeah. Oppression Olympics. Yeah. Oppression of Olympics would probably be the right term for this. More about Marvel, because I'm showing my bits and pieces for the first time. Oh, I probably did, not gonna lie. So this was sent May 5th, which, like, the fact that Mim continues to try to, like, have a civil discussion with Gray is insane. I again would have been tapped out, would have been given up on this, because this right here is a lost cause. But Mim responds, I will be honest and say I don't think I can properly give this conversation the care it deserves most at the moment due to an ongoing situation, but I do want to address it since I don't want to make you think I'm trying to avoid it or shrug it off. I apologize for what I did ended up being backhanded. I was very hurt at the time to find there's been a lot of stuff mentioned behind my back when I would have preferred to talk about it directly, and I'm sorry for letting that seep into the conversation. I do recognize and apologize for everyone's lack of knowledge on this topic and addressing the scenario overall. I knew nothing of the situation personally, and when I attempted to research a lot, if it was censored with the Pope apologizing and such, and it was difficult to properly learn of the history. I'm also not intentionally refusing privilege or anything of the sort. I'm aware having lighter complexion alone is seen as privilege. I also have not been trying to go out of my way to avoid you for avoidance sake. I genuinely just don't think you'd want me around. You'd want to be around me or hear from me in any regards unless this matter was handled, which I don't think Mim should have apologized here. I really don't. Mim believes there's good in everyone. Honestly, things like this make me ashamed of being Christian. I'm not a hateful person, and I am bisexual, but it sucks how much people use their face to cause a problem. See, Gamma, I knew I fucked with you. You just like me for real. Honestly, taking it to DMs was a bad idea, TBH. It being out of the group chat, at least others had eyes, and it had yeah. Oh, just wait, Jay, it gets worse. Tyr, that's the most ominous message. Why would you tell me this? We're past the halfway mark though. We are on page 17 of 32. So we're getting through this somehow. To which Gray responds to Mim's message. I can't say I'm happy with the outcome still. It's never always upon the oppressed party to really explain things. This goes across the board for anybody who is marginalized and if the topic pertains to their specific group. I hang around very vocal individuals and many of my friends are black, so a lot of my vocal power and habits come from those friends. I'm gonna leave it alone. Come from those friends. A lot of us tend to get a second opinion or more depending on the situation. That's exactly what I did, especially since I don't always trust my own perspective. And from other Indigenous friends' perspectives, I was in the right. So I stand firm on what I initially stood on this situation, especially since I don't want to bend over backwards for someone non-Indigenous on an Indigenous topic. Many of my friends are black. That's... we're leaving it alone. We're leaving it alone. I'm not even touching on that part. I'm just gonna leave it alone for right now. I still hated that I was labeled unreasonable by you, Mortimer, and Nadine, all not indigenous people, to someone whose family has a long religious trauma, which, with Christianity, cross-related religions. So it's not just Christianity. Okay. And people also forget I'm literally Catholic, whether I like it or not. This is my belief. I just don't agree with the hierarchy nor structured side of it. I firmly dislike Nadine for taking IDV as seriously as they did. Nor do I agree with the way they handled everything, though I do recognize that indigenous related trauma and genocide isn't taught as broadly in their end of the world compared to on our end in North America. So Nadine is from somewhere else. I expected better from you and Mortimer out of this. Mortimer cut ties with me, which I can't control, but I hated them for that and choosing to walk off knowing their white ass ancestors likely oppressed my people. I despise them now, so thanks. Slash serious slash negative. Oh my god. Oh. Literally, being Catholic is literally intrinsic with the Catholic Church. I don't understand. I so honestly, genuinely, and truly do not understand this. Also, going back to I hang around very vocal individuals and many of my friends are black, so a lot of my vocal power and habits come from those friends. What? Is that like, I'm not crazy for listen, I'm crazy for other reasons, I understand. But that line is a little fucking nuts to me. Personally, yeah, like that feels a little sus. Like, is that not just saying that like you're like, I'm not gonna lie, in my mind, I like that translates to me as I'm around loud black people, so I'm a loud indigenous person. Like that's how that reads. Like that's the translation that I got from that line. Am I crazy for that? Because that's really how it feels. But I like maybe I'm losing it. Maybe I'm being too sensitive about it now. Cause that's that. Can I donate my your PKM? What is that? To defend against this bullshit? Fuck this guy, I don't care. He needs to be blacklisted. Every VTuber needs to cut contact. Oh my god. Like that's exactly how that read, which is just such an insane line, but it also like solidifies and confirms is that okay. It's the AK's bigger brother. Oh, okay. I got it. Fucking tiny keyboard. This is like, oh my god, I can't not read it like that. All right, I think I'm tapped out. I got a early shift. Good luck to the rest of y'all. Thanks for stopping by, Pony. Have a good day at work tomorrow. Can I ping you in the server to show mine off? Yeah. You can post it in my section of the server. This shit, yeah, babe. We're at page 17 of 32. We are still in this. And Gray just said that they're friends with loud black people, which makes them a loud indigenous person. I'll read you the line. That's how it translated to me. They say I hang around very vocal individuals and many of my friends are black. So a lot of my vocal power and habits come from those friends. And a lot of us tend to get second opinions or more depending on the situation. And like it's a huge run-on sentence. But like am I crazy for like that? That's mad racist. Yeah, yes. Is gaming here? Do you have? Hold on, let me go over to Zombie. Where are you in this? Oh my god! Hold on, this is OMG. This is so sick. Can I tag you in this section? I don't know if you're in this section. Let's... Oh, I have streamer mode on, so I can't even see if I tagged you. I might be tagging somebody else here. If you in the roles have the Beyblader role, in the Kokomori Forest like category, you could put it in yapping, or hobbyist, either one. Honestly, hobbyist would probably be good. You might get other gun people that show up there. He could have said many of my friends are loud. No need for the other character. No, for real. We have the black delegation by the authority of the High Council to denounce this motherfucker. The fact Gray said all that and discounted these people's experience. It's really, if you aren't indigenous, like, he doesn't care. He does not care regardless. Like, just because I'm black doesn't mean I understand. Like, I don't understand the struggles that like a Korean like person may go through, or the struggles that like a Mexican person may go through. Like, you putting your like racial identity above everybody else and like discounting anybody else who isn't that like race or like that identity is racist. Like that's fucked up. But this is, and God, Gray keeps messaging more, because this is, Gray responded back on May 5th. Then Mim responded May 6th, and Gray responded back on May 8th. So this is going over like, this is taking multiple days to respond. And he continues saying, as for you still, I am still upset. I don't know what you're going through. I don't log into Twitter as much to see posts, and even then, if I saw you, I scrolled past. I do not want to see you or look at you, and I've been avoiding you out of my discomfort and unhappiness from how I was treated. Wait, because they literally up here said, like, Mim apologized and said that, like, I'm not avoiding you. I thought you didn't want to be around me. And he confirmed here that I don't want to see you, and I have been avoiding you out of discomfort and unhappiness from how I was treated. He quite literally contradicted himself from like what he said earlier. I'm not insane. He literally said that. What? It's like indigenous, okay, any other race, you're the enemy if you aren't another minority. Quite literally. So he admits that he was avoiding out of discomfort and unhappiness. Demonizing indigenous people over the Pope was not the move to do, and this can go very, very badly for you had I come public about this on my main, but I haven't. I was being very generous to not spread things publicly about you, as I knew you were already dealing with some stuff from your other friend group still. I have so much I could say, but I feel like everything I say falls upon deaf ears. Do better, I mean this. So we're threatening blackmail now, is where we've gotten to. We're threatening blackmail. And like, Mim never once did they demonize indigenous people. This never happened. He's quite literally making shit up. I don't understand. I do not understand. I'm so confusion. I'm so confusion. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Who is this doc canceling? Yeah, this doc, well, it's not even canceling Gray. It's Mim's defense against Gray canceling her. So it's a in response document. This is a warning. Do not work with, no, absolutely not. Not the dude pull. Yeah, it's literally saying I could ruin you. Like, I was being very generous to not spread things publicly. Like, wait, first, like, oh my gosh, that's, you're not friends. You're not friends if you're thinking about doing something like that to a friend. First and foremost, you don't think of them as a friend. Secondly, like, you would be lying. You would just be lying because, like, Mim never did any of these things. You are making this shit up. Oh, this is an Uno. Yes, yes. This isn't a dog canceling Gray. This is Mim's response to Gray canceling her. So Mim responds back, I'm not expecting you to accept nor forgive anyone involved in the situation, nor did I ever expect or knowingly attempt to change your views regarding your identity or the Pope, which they said like 7 times. She said this so many times. I'm not shaming or frowning upon your beliefs regarding this situation, as you have your own experiences and reasons behind it, understandably so. However, I do want to mention again that the knowledge on whatever happened historically is not something taught or talked about here, since we are from different states. Even our own history is censored. I did, as mentioned, try to research it following the conversation, of which it was heavily blocked out, even with educational journals, and namely only mentioned the apology tour. I will state that, for me, I was not trying to demonize or disregard your identity or indigenous individuals in any regard, nor was I supporting the Pope, but I do understand why it appeared much differently for you, and I apologize for initially overlooking that, which again, I don't think Mim should apologize for that. It never sounded like that, quite literally. Not even sociopath. Like, this is just a dog shit person. Grace hate is making me like the Pope more. I'm not even Catholic. I can't. I just gotta keep reading. The faster I get through this, the faster I don't have to deal with this dickhead, because this shit is so stupid. This shit is so stupid. And like, at this point, I'm getting upset that Mim is like feeling like she has to apologize for something that she never did. She never did any of these things. It didn't even seem like she was doing any of these things. It was just Gray wanting to be the victim and wanting to have to apologize, or wanting to have to argue and combat with people for not being indigenous. I hear Jay's brain scrambling for reading. Oh my God, listen. I need something to recover my brain after all this bullshit. But Gray responds, I'm also mad at Mim too. He doesn't deserve an apology. He does not deserve an apology. Like, I'm upset with Mim now because she is apologizing for things she shouldn't have to. Gray said, you still benefit from this situation. I lost 2 friends. They still associate with you and not me. So you won anyways. Congrats. I'm pissed off whenever I remember that I'm the demon in the end. I don't matter. Indigenous people doesn't matter. Indigenous people don't matter. It sucks. Nobody's saying that. Nobody ever said that. And you lost 2 friends for your own actions, for your own combativeness, for your everything that you did. Your actions lost you those 2 friends. Wholeheartedly, full stop. Gray deserves nothing but the boot they got from that. Jesus Christ, there's no actual winning here. No, there's none. And again, we're 18 of 32 pages deep, and we still have other threads to read through. No, like, nothing you do or say could satisfy this person. No, quite literally. There's nothing that can be done to satisfy Gray. He just wants to be combative and be the victim regardless. Like, I don't even know. Mim responds, you and Indigenous people do and deserve to matter, and I apologize. The situation made it seem far differently. Regarding the others, I can't really speak or predict how they feel either. Said it was taught in the U.S. Tell me you don't understand the batshit education system here without telling me. God. Yeah, great response here. Well, y'all genuinely suck. I'm mad. I'm no longer sad, just mad. My friends from the US who are indigenous said it was taught in the US. It's just people's lack of paying attention or caring for the topic, depending state to state. And I know this, but it's still so shameful that I even thought I could trust people who weren't indigenous to even care or understand. I do not care about everyone hiding behind their identities being LGBT and different groups of color. Doesn't spare anybody the fact that y'all were racist and tone deaf as hell to me. Non-indigenous people do not understand unless they take the time to give a damn and research and learn. There's quite literally no fucking winning. There's no winning. My response to the I'm no longer sad, just mad message would have been stay mad gif with the Among Us character shaking ass. You know, Chanel got a song for this called Black Soul. Here's an excerpt from that's gonna sound corny, but it fits my attitude for Gray. Who's the asshole now? Holier than thou. You're not. It. I just gotta keep pushing. I have to be strong and get through this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, this is all Gray. This is all just Gray. Okay. Gray responds to Mim saying that you and indigenous people do deserve better and apologizing yet again. This is why I smoke. Bro, I gotta take an Eddie after this or something. Gray responds, saying this only goes so far when the damage was already fucking done, Mim. It means nothing. You did damage, you'll live with it. You're lucky I didn't want to taint your public image with it all because I did save the proof. I contemplated about it time to time. I care a little bit. I don't know why, but I've been conflicted despite being pushed to post something about you by others. The treatment was appalling. I am hurt. You added to my trauma. Do better and stop trying to save face when you already hurt me and made other people believe I am so fucking evil. You're a racist loser for what you did to me. I'm mad, and I need people to genuinely care instead of demonizing me for advocating for my people and my identity. You live in indigenous land. All of Canada and the US is indigenous land, yet you treated me this way. Who knows how you would treat other indigenous people had the topic been someone else? How would you have treated anybody in the past or future? Who knows? You're racist. You've done the damage. Do not harm more people down the road. Whatever shit you're going through still isn't an excuse to be a racist asshole to someone whose family was oppressed endlessly and enslaved, raped, murdered, and kidnapped. Endlessly, my people were put through traumatic events. We still are. This entire situation hurts so much. I'm hurt. None of you who were involved seem to be, because indigenous people don't fucking matter to you, Nadine, nor Mortimer. No amount of apologies can fix what happened to me. None of it. Nothing can fix the fact that y'all were so disgusting about the topic. You all disgust me tremendously. Oh my god, I just look over to see all of Gamma's messages. You know, I'm gonna drop the L Smoker act. I also need a cigarette. Oh my god. We're not done. Because they sent that, and then they sent another message saying, I'm without support, no friends, no nothing. And I haven't seen my therapist due to complications. I have no time to myself. Enjoy your privilege to be able to do whatever and have whoever around you, because you know so easily how to be charismatic enough to keep people around despite hurting said people. You hurt your other friends. What made me think I would be immune to anything thrown my way? I was foolish to trust you. That narcissistic abuse you mentioned to me is the treatment I've received. Since I often never mattered in situations, the signs were there. Nobody else matters to you unless there's something to gain. I offered nothing at the point where this all began, so I didn't matter. Only you did to you, not me, nothing. That's how I genuinely feel and see things. I need that all proven to be wrong. But as I said, nothing can fix this. I'm mad. Nothing really changed for my feelings. I know I'm not safe here at all. I don't matter. I'm losing hope as we speak. Oh, God. As soon as we finish this doc, I'm gonna go smoke a fucking dart. Holy shit. Oh, my God. The fucking yap fest this is. And I honestly, at this point, I don't know why Mim keeps responding. But Mim responds, Tony, I mean this genuinely through all of this. I'm highly concerned for you. I understand the anger and distress here, and I know there's no going back to change what has happened, nor do the apologies matter, but genuinely it does not seem healthy for you to be around me if it's hurting you this much. If you feel I can't care for you, regardless of what I say or feel, then I don't think it's healthy to stay around me. If you want to talk one day, talk or communicate again, it's up to your own comfort. That will be your decision, and I am here. If you don't, I entirely understand. What matters right now is for you to focus on your well-being. I'm worried that since you mentioned I'm worried since what you mentioned sounds like you're being isolated and since you don't feel safe with me. I really hope you can find that soon. I will say this, you are free to disregard it or not agree, but I do not look down or intentionally dismiss any racial group. I was highly uneducated on the topic since it wasn't taught here, and my priority was separate from the conversation that arose. For that, truly, I am sorry. However, I am not expecting this to change your feelings on me or the matter in any way. This is not a joke. I'm genuinely angry. We got to get through this. We got to get through this. Gray then responds to that by saying, I can't tell if this is genuine care because I do not trust you. Again, you didn't lose anybody or anything, so why not put the final nail in the coffin and just throw me away entirely, huh? You kept your friends. Why not throw the problem away? Does me speaking up and advocating for myself make you uncomfortable? Am I too evil, real, and woke or something? I do not trust that this is care from you when I was shown a lack of care, especially when your phrasing of things were so reckless before, not only to me, but towards your other friends in certain situations. I've been in situations, many, where I was given a false sense of hope and trust just to be lied to, talked behind my back, and treated worse than dirt. I do not trust that you care about me. If you haven't before, why should you now? Why should I feel inclined to believe that you care and are being truthful to me right now? You broke the trust I had. That has to be earned. But I don't know what will happen from here on out. I don't know. I'm just upset. My paranoia is through the roof. I can't trust you. We got to make it alive. We got to get through it. We got to get through it, yo. We have to. Myrm responds, if you don't trust me, nor do you, if you don't want to trust me, nor do you, that's not something I can or want to force upon you. You're more than what our friendship can be defined as, and I would hope to see you not calling yourself evil or a problem. I'm sorry you've had those experiences, and I understand why you fear that now. If you don't want to hear from me, you don't have to. Again, do what feels right for you. You don't have to believe my words or my care for you. I'm not here to force you to believe that. Imagine throwing that one spider back shot in the middle of the face. Oh my god. Oh man, at this point, because like there's nothing happening, there's nothing going on. It's just a whole lot of fucking nothing. It's a whole lot of victimizing himself and just absolutely ignoring everything that I'm saying or just twisting it however he can. He says, oh, at this point, he says, you're speaking too calmly for me to believe I even matter to you, nor do I think you're very honest when I've seen in instances before you would talk behind people's backs, sounding nice only to be shit-talking those people to our old rank group. So no, I don't trust that you've been very nice all along, nor do I think you haven't crawled to other losers calling me ignorant for a very bad and major issue that pertains to indigenous people, because only you think that only you're right and that everybody else is wrong when faced with me being a brick wall in my beliefs based off generations, by the way, of trauma. Then you stand down. That's fucked up of you. Very fucked up, Mim. This single specific topic is such a strong one for my people and thousands of other indigenous groups around the world, not only in North America. Yet I was painted as wrong, and from that, you spat on other thousands of indigenous populations around the world just because you figured you were right to paint me as the villain for being very angry and upset over a topic that doesn't only affect me, but many others who are indigenous. That's deplorable. You not once properly apologized, you just kept throwing random ass little things to paint yourself as a trusting and understanding individual when you aren't. You've treated me so terribly through this process, you never thought about how I felt or how I was affected, and you're so quick to want me gone. I don't know. Hey man, I'm sorry. Hopefully things get better for you. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you say that? You literally never felt more. Oh my god, summed up. That is exactly what's happening. Wholeheartedly. Lock the fuck in and cuss him the fuck out. I Imagine Dragons while evil monologue is so chronically online. Yeah, Mim responds at this point, did you want me to react aggressively? I can tell my words don't matter here, and you're already told me my apologies mean nothing, so what is it you want from me? And Greyer literally says, I don't know. Whatever you told Nadine to make them block me, thanks. Bold of you to try and get upset and consult other people when Bold of you to try and get upset. I consult other people when you do the same. I consulted level-headed indigenous people to get other opinions when this all began, because I know I get emotional and hot-headed. Everyone still agreed with me that to those I have consulted, you should know that people with BPD always get another opinion in serious cases. I thought you would have known, and Nadine and Mortimer wouldn't, because they don't seem to have BPD. I wish you would have stood up for me. Nobody did. You never will. I shouldn't have expected any of you to understand me. I was mistaken to trust everybody. I want to speak up so bad about Nadine and you. RIP isn't truly inclusive to have shunned me the way you both have. VTuber spaces don't need racists around, and if I need to speak up on social media, I will if need be. I haven't received a proper apology, and Nadine will never apologize to me. Mortimer hasn't before cutting me off. You're all racist as hell, and I'm still upset. I keep waiting and waiting for something, anything, an apology, but none of you care at all. When you tried to sound concerned about my isolation, I don't think you realize I'm isolated in this case because of the incident. Nothing was done to alleviate that. I'm still isolated. I expressed how y'all were my only friends recently, and I'm alone, and I have nobody. I see exactly how you don't have any friends. It is so clear. It is so clear why that is. I see. No, he genuinely, he needs help. Like he said, he hasn't been going to his therapist. You need to go back desperately, because you are not in a position where I feel like you should be interacting with other people in an online space. I feel like you should just be offline completely. I don't think you should be in an online space at all. I can't do this anymore. He's sounding like a broken record. I want to get through this. I want to get through this so bad. I don't want to stop. But it's just the same shit over and over again. But this is where it starts to get into more of the VTubing space as a whole with it. Also, an ad break is about to start. I might just still keep going through this even through the ads, because nothing's really being there's nothing new happening. But they bring up the VTubing team of RIP. And so that's where that starts to come in, of bringing in other people in. We'll see in later screenshots or really posts on Twitter, that the team itself has spoken out about this, and the founder and the co-founder have made posts about this and everything happening here. So Mim, the Groundhog Day fucking loop is insane. Yeah, I'm gonna still go through this with the ads. If something new comes up, I'll make sure to cover it back whenever the ads end. But it's just the same shit over and over again. He denies himself outside feedback and therefore no base of relationship with others in general. Exactly. So Bim says, I've apologized several times. I'll be honest and say it doesn't seem like what you want from me is an apology. If you want communication from the others, it's something you would have to ask them for. I also wasn't aware Nadine blocked you either. They're probably under the same belief I was in, thinking you wanted nothing to do with us. Gray responds, I shouldn't have asked for an apology. That's just not the thing I need to do here. It's on all of you, not me. I've been patient and nothing thus far. Y'all aren't friends at all. If I have to wait, and while waiting, I'm actively being blocked out, ignored, and neglected. Y'all were never my friends if this is how y'all treat people. Crying every night waiting isn't how you treat friends. To which Mim responds again, everyone most likely thought you wanted nothing to do with them. If you thought someone hated you and didn't want anything to do with them, would you reach out? What did I hate him so much, honestly. I hope he doesn't get reached out for collabs and shit. I'm genuinely at the point where I don't feel like he's mentally stable enough to be interacting with other people online. Because if it's at least not other indigenous, other people that aren't indigenous, it genuinely sounds like he only wants to interact with other indigenous people, which if you want to isolate yourself to that specific race, crazy, but I guess go for it. But it doesn't sound like he wants anything to do with somebody who is not indigenous, or black, because he has to be friends with loud black people to also be a loud person. I'm gonna leave that alone. So Gray responds, I wish everyone would stop assuming. Everybody always said to communicate, but many times I've seen how y'all don't. I should have taken that as a warning that y'all wouldn't do the same to me one day. I'm open to talk. I've been talking to you. No. If I thought someone hated me, I ask, I talk, I always do that. I'm straightforward with people and I'm direct. That's something you learn when you've talked to many people. You've only talked to people online. I don't think you've had real life interactions. I'll be so honest. He used to talk to a therapist, talk to other indigenous people, like IDK, form a group where you can uplift one another. He just needs help. Mim says, I'm very open to communication. I have always done that when I want to address or solve a situation. If I didn't want to, I wouldn't be replying in the face of aggression. Good God. Good God. Hold on, I'm really I'm really about to tap out, y'all. I don't know if I can keep doing this. It's not going anywhere. I understand Mim putting in all of the screenshots for the entire conversation, but I don't think I have it in me to keep going through this. Needs a little relearn about human perspectives and nuance. I don't even think it's a relearn. I think it's just a learn. He needs to learn it entirely. When the ad break ends, I'm probably gonna run a poll because like we're not getting anything new. It's just a yap fest at this point. Mim is just repeatedly apologizing and saying the same things over, and Gray is just repeating to combat and be aggressive and be upset. And I don't know. Okay, welcome back from the ads. I'm running a poll right now. Do I finish this? Yes, we gotta see all. No, this is a yap fest. I have to run a poll because I don't think we're getting anywhere with this, like with reading through this. I don't think there's gonna be any type of agreement, obviously. Exactly. We've been at this for 3 hours and we're still on this. I have a poll running right now. If y'all want me to finish this doc, there are other screenshots that I wanted to go through as well, but like I didn't realize how much yapping happened here. Is there anything beside it's the Silent Hill the what? This is all, it's all just screenshots, and it's just back and forth between Gray and Mim, and I don't think anything's happening. Like there's nothing going on. Hey Midnight, welcome in. You can skip to the last page and miss not much. Yeah, like I was going to probably just skip to the end. Because I don't think we're getting anything out of this. Maxwell. It's just Gray crying and complaining and calling everybody racist and Mim apologizing and trying to like rationalize, but like there's nothing going on. You said, oh, I have to watch that later. My final thoughts to both Mim and Gray. Gray, you are a racist, narcissist, sociopathic monster who doesn't listen and will blackmail and jump to conclusions that you don't deserve a platform and should be out and touch grass and talk to people. Yeah, like looking through this, it's just honestly Gray probably calling Mim like a colonizer and saying they've never been oppressed or like had to deal anything. Yeah, calling Mim privileged, and Mim is like, I'm not privileged. Like I've had to deal with so much shit growing up. Like I'm not. Okay, thank God. I'm sorry for whoever voted yes that y'all wanted to see it all or wanted to hear it all, but like we just have to go through. Yeah, you've been racist and refused to do anything to make up for it. Mim saying I'm not racist. And to Mim, you were not mean enough. You should have been meaner. I don't care if you're being civil. He doesn't deserve a civil conversation because he doesn't listen. Cousin just got a tuxedo cat. His name is Grayscale, and she was also known as Miss Gracie. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, okay. So there's more here. There's a heavy trigger warning for these last couple pages. These last 2 pages. For I think heavy trigger warning for suicide and like self-harm and stuff. So if anybody is triggering by that, there's your warning. Mim says in, I think in another group message, so this is not, I don't think with Grace specifically. They're saying my sister said that my suicide attempts weren't actual attempts because all I did was cut myself. I can't deal with these people. I can't open up to any of them without being invalidated or yelled at. They're superficial. My thighs and stomach are covered with scars and cuts. It looks like mesh. I can't tell where the stretch marks on my stomach or scars. My wrists were lucky enough to heal in IDK how aside from some white lines. I have not like it matter. Oh, because somebody said, have you not had other people diagnose you with stuff? Oh, thank you. Let me pin this. Let me pin that real quick. We're on page 30 of 32. This is all Mim. Is this all Mim? Yes, this is all Mim. Understandable. That's why I put those there. It's honestly, I don't even need to read all of this. It's just them talking about like the fact that they've tried to like, off themselves. And then it looks like there was some essay with family involved in that. And then they say down here, this is the last page of messages. We had to skip it. It was a fucking yap fest, and I couldn't do it anymore. It was pissing me off. These last pages, Mim says it's why it kind of pissed me off when people say BPD shouldn't hate or dislike people with NPD. We're literally the same cluster. We got traumatized by NPD. Of course we are uncomfortable. I don't personally dislike those with NPD. People can't control that, but I know I can't be safe with someone who's NPD, especially if they're untreated. It's a recipe for disaster, which Gray responds to, we're close with people with treated NPD, wary of those who are untreated, and keep at a safe distance. Nadine says people should never say that. People are never the same, which Mim responds exactly. Nadine says people under the same umbrella are never the same. Grace says our ex used the we're literally the same card on us. It worked. He kept repeating this and it kept working. I had to step in to ruin it. And which Mim says, I know people with NPD can be lovely people, but there's some reasons people with BPD are wary too. People just need to understand that. Which I think this is another screenshot from later on in the group, which Grace says, it's so now I'm tweaking out to a friend, feeling really bad and needing to talk to a specialist, but can't, and I really hope time flies so I can see my new therapist if she's the right fit, and seeing my current one last time in May because I really needed that support. Struggling with self-diagnosing NPD for over half of a year now, and teetering on yes or no if I have it, and needing to talk to someone to confirm or disprove it because it bothers me, but I likely do have it because I lack empathy. Which, yeah, honestly, I'm no psychiatrist, therapist. I ain't any of that. But after everything here, I feel pretty strongly that Gray might have NPD. I very much do, because this whole thing was insane. So that's over the full doc. Finally, going into more screenshots because, of course, Gray kept at it after all. NPD is narcissistic personality disorder, and then BPD is borderline personality disorder. NPD is not the same as ASPD. I don't know which one ASPD is. So honestly, I'm just gonna go to the page so I can just scroll and show y'all this. So after the doc released, antisocial personality disorder is the updated name for. Okay. Gray put out a lot of tweets saying that they spoke to a specialist and agreed that he was right given the evidence. The evidence wasn't very good to begin with. It just made people involved look worse. And if people can't see that, they have some work to do in regards to Indigenous oppression in history. They again bring up the thousands of Indigenous women and children who were murdered and missing at the hands of the church. And tell me, would you tell them the same you told me before? Racist, that lot. they're okay with the fact that nuns and priests all beat, starved, and raped indigenous children. But yeah, I'm totally mad for no reason, and I'm totally irrational for something ingrained in my identity, upbringing, and family, sure. No, but that's the whole thing is like, this entire mess is Gray just making things up that nobody said. Nobody said any of these things. My identity. They say, I'm done. Stop using scapegoats to be racist towards indigenous people. My friends, strangers, colleagues, and my literal therapists all agree with me. People's bias towards some privileged asshole meme can go suck it. Y'all are racist. Bye-bye. Y'all don't know me truly. And like the thing is, there are people like in agreement with the things that Gray is posting. And I think they start going into more because Mim posted the doc and posted a lot of like tweets with it. I would pay a monthly subscription to continue not knowing Gray. Where there's like Discord screenshots of people tweaking out from the most mundane things. Y'all don't know me. I don't want to know you. Looks up this guy. Do not interact. Liz says racist, buddy. You were racist. Literally. Yeah, Mim says that like everything was entirely misunderstood and warped. It's entirely unacceptable to weaponize anybody's identities or experiences. This should have never gone on Twitter months ago on your private nor now. You've made your friends uncomfortable due to the lack of concern for their feelings and then throw it back out to play the victim. I walked away because you kept DMing me incredibly toxic and aggressive. DMing me being incredibly toxic and aggressive. We were walking in circles. Y'all were racing in circles. So many of them. Honestly, a fucking record at that point. You threatened me for weeks saying you were going to drop a doc about the situation with screenshots. And yes, that is blackmailing. Then say you don't have them in your post. I kept you in my servers up until this point, despite not trusting you. Tony has also admitted to posting many docs in the past with people, as well as threatening doxing. Naturally, everyone was removed from the group chat due to such sensitive information being out there, and blocking someone and removing them from your space after all of this happened is not oppressing someone. It's simply cutting them off. We were in circles for months before this happened. It's setting a boundary. It's quite literally setting a boundary, which he's so upset because his boundaries weren't respected, even though he was the one that started and continued on the conversation over and over and over again when people wanted to drop it. Someone posted under, okay, I'm a little comfortable. Was Gray the one with the screenshot document? No, that was Mim's document because Gray called Mim and the entire RIP VTubing like group racist, aggressively and actively racist, and said that they were not a safe space. So let me, hold on. Oh yeah, they're also saying like, all my friends with NPD, get behind me. I want to protect y'all from people who want to try and antagonize you from a diagnosis that comes from trauma and neglect. Which is again at Mim. Even more tweets from like this again. This was tweeted out like right whenever I started stream. They said, I don't have the time to make some stupid document. The audacity of some of you. I'm sorry to my friends, mutuals, and followers who have to see all this. I never wanted to go public, but I needed it in defense of my people and for other safety, which is crazy because Gray was the one who was threatening going public about this multiple times. Beware that Mim suicide baits, threatens, SH, manipulates, gaslights, lies, is ableist and racist towards people for personal gain. Open a damn book to learn and open your damn ears for marginalized communities and voices. And so there are other people in the like RIP VTubing like group. Hello. Yeah. There are other people in the group. So the founder had posted, it's extremely appalling to see not only one of my talents, one of our managers, but the entire RIP group misrepresented in the way is deeply disappointing, offensive, and completely unacceptable. I founded RIP with the intention of creating a supportive, respectful, and inclusive space and community, one that uplifts individuals regardless of their sexuality, ethnicity, or background. That is a standard I uphold, and that is what each of my talents embodies. As someone of Puerto Rican descent and founder of this group, I am not only disrespected by your portrayal, but appalled by the way you've chosen to mischaracterize what we stand for. Your actions reflect disregard for the values we strive to uphold, and I will not tolerate it. As a result, you will be blacklisted from all future applications, related events, and any collaborations that involve you moving forward. This decision is not based solely on the concerns raised by my talents or manager. It is a direct reflection of my stance as the founder. I do not want somebody who has acted in such a manner to be associated with or represent the RIP brand in any capacity. I take these matters seriously and will continue to stand firmly by the principle of respect, integrity, and inclusivity that defines us. And they say, at this time, I ask that you please go show your support to Mim, who has been directly impacted by the recent situation. They have taken the time to put together a document that outlines everything clearly and transparently. I encourage you to read through the document. So is this VTubing group all graduated? Well, no, because the group hasn't done anything wrong. I would not expect them to at all. Maybe I'm not woke enough, but is it cringe to make your race your whole personality? Gamma, I'm with you. Like, I don't know. Apparently there are people in agreement with Gray, but like, I feel like he is 100% in the wrong. And then Mortimer also tweeted out, about if this tanks the group, I don't think it will. There seems to be a lot of support towards Mim and the other members of RIP with like the founders' messages, Mortimer's messages on saying, they said that like they didn't use the best words in their original message, but they cut him. They say I cut him off because he was sharing personal information, disregarded not only my own but others' identities to fit his narrative / ideals, and assuming my personal beliefs without even talking to me first about them, and puts more tweets down this and like even screenshot some of the things that he was saying to like reply to them. So with the Trinity flag, I feel nothing from this. I'd sooner take belly button shading and art more seriously than this. I very much hope that Gray gets help from this and like does not interact with other people online until he gets help. And then one of the things Gray had tweeted out said, Mim tried mentioning mental health and using NPD as a negative about me when they suicide baited their closer friend group in their personal server when I asked them in a group chat if their friends get mental help or medication to know the effects or risk, and Mim said no. There are more tweets into this, but one of the closer friends of Mim says, I'm the so-called friend who got suicide baited. Don't pretend to know what happened with that group and why I'm not friends with them anymore. It's not your business, and while I don't agree with Mim using your potential MPD against you, it's no better for you to speak about a situation that happened over a year ago that you did not witness firsthand. Mim did not suicide bait me, despite what former friends believe. Was I afraid for my friend because they were going through a relapse? Yes, but nothing they did was in an attempt to bait us. Please leave me out of it. I'm not your little puzzle piece to try and place in order to paint Mim in a bad light. You have a black-white perspective on the situation when it's a lot more nuanced than that. And while I do sympathize with you on your indigenous issues, it is incredibly isolating stance to take that people mourning their future over the death of the Pope is inherently racist, that anyone who disagrees with you is racist. I wasn't aware of this situation before the doc, and even while reading the doc, it is clear that there's never a compromise that could have been made. You are childish. Which, like, this person not even being friends with Mim, obviously, like, specifically not being friends with Mim anymore, and even says, like, not being on Mim's side, you are in the wrong. You are 100% wrong here. 100%. Like, there's no if, ands, or buts about it. But that is... Gray has continued tweeting. I think is probably still tweeting right now. I'm going to be blocking them because I will never want to interact with this person. He isn't, I checked. Yeah, I I will never want to interact with that person at all. I never want them to think that I would like to interact with them, because this was wholeheartedly just a stupid mess by somebody who just could not care about anybody but himself or people that are like him. I did not realize what I was getting into by reading through all of that today. Fuck. Oh, fuck. I also blocked this one. Smart. A great idea that was. That was so much. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's probably gonna do it for me for today. I don't even know if I have like the mental energy to do anything else. That was not supposed to take my entire stream. I did not think that was gonna take 3 hours and 20 minutes like it did. But I guess here we are. Oh my god. That was... Oh man. Well, while I'm here, before I do in stream though. What the? Bonnie, I'm gonna remember this. This will be remembered. I'm not forgetting this. My streams for next week are gonna be canceled. I'm gonna be on vacation mode. DreamCon's this weekend. I have friends over, and they're gonna be over throughout the rest of the week, next week. So we pray that no more Google Docs hit the TL, and we can just have a good time. I will be back streaming on Monday, June the 9th. What a shitty last stream of like shit to go over that we covered this thing. Oh my gosh. Yo, what, why are y'all bonking me? Why did y'all take my hair? What is going on here? What the fuck? I will remember all of this. This is the last impression y'all are giving me before I go on vacation. Bisexual crimes. Oh, I'm so sorry. Also, tell Megan Thee Stallion if we could go on a Roblox date, like I'll give her 5 stars every round. Gotta recreate the image from Discord. We don't have to do that at all. Did we ever consider that? That doesn't have to happen. Oh, Nick, thank you for the Queen's Care package. Oh my gosh. You know what? Honestly, y'all doing this has helped me so much after all that bullshit that we just read and went over. But I'm going to go ahead, give y'all the raid message. That's the raid message if you are not subscribed. Stickbug. Here is the raid message if you are. And I'm sending y'all over to Cinder, who is streaming Elden Ring Night Rain. Which I'm not gonna lie is looking pretty sick. I might be playing that after this week, maybe next week. It popped back up. Yeah, my head pops up after too many bonks. But I'm gonna take y'all over to Cinder Slash. Also wait, before I do that, again, join the Discord. Y'all can see all the homie streams. If there's a chance there's gonna be a stream next week. I'm just like, I don't know if it's going to happen, so I'm just gonna say they're canceled for now. But if you're in the Discord, you'll find out if there is one. But y'all go send love to Cinder. We love him. We love him in this household. Thank y'all all for stopping by. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, night, whatever time it is for you, and let's get this raid started. Bye-bye.